Devil Marching Band under the field direction of Drum Major Alejandro Voisin.
Fans, please direct your attention to the center of the field as tonight we honor our senior football players and cheerleaders. Please give a good round of applause for all of our dedicated seniors this evening. Our first senior tonight, Grayson Beck, escorted by his mother, Carrie Beck, and his dad, Rob Beck. Grayson's favorite teacher at Mount Lebanon High School is Mr. Mike Hathy. Please give it up for Grayson Beck. Our next senior is Gio Colon, escorted by his mother, Natalie Kimball, and his stepfather, Jeff Kimball. Gio's favorite teacher is wrestling legend Mr. Bill Lewis. Our next senior, Chris Friedel. Chris is escorted by his mother, Dr. Dina Friedel, and his dad, Dr. Jeff Friedel. Chris's favorite teacher is Mr. Carl Satira. Our next senior is Adam Higgins. Adam is escorted by his mother, Kristen Higgins, and his dad, Garrett Higgins. Adam's favorite teacher is Dr. Drew Haberberger. Next up is senior Luis Hernandez. Luis is escorted by his sisters, Selena and Jasmine Hernandez. Luis's favorite teacher is Miss Kathleen Trahey. Our next senior is Chris Kambitsis. Chris is escorted by his mom, Katie Kambitsis, and his dad, Jason Kambitsis. Chris's favorite teacher is Mr. Luke Miller. Our next senior is Jackson Kramer. Jackson is escorted by his mother, Celine Mazer Kramer, and his dad, David Kramer. Jackson's favorite teacher is Mrs. Gallardini. Next up is senior Colin Kramer. Colin is escorted by his mother, Jocelyn Kramer, and his dad, Joe Kramer. Colin's favorite teacher is Mrs. Joanne Villa. Next up, senior Joe Malone. Joe is escorted by his mother, Alexis Zapala. Joe's favorite teacher is Dr. Michael Gullo. Next up, senior Sam McCulley. Sam is escorted by his mother, Fran McCulley, and his dad, Doug McCulley. Sam's favorite teacher is Mr. Ray Schrader. Our next senior is Mickey Murphy. Mickey is escorted by his mom, Abby Murphy, and brother, Jack Murphy. Mickey's favorite teacher is Mrs. Krista Wagner. Next up, senior Whitaker Patriquin. Whitaker is escorted by his mom, Kirsten Patriquin, and his dad, Randall Patriquin. Whitaker's favorite teacher is Miss Christine Brodbeck. Next up, senior Patrick Smith. Patrick is escorted by his mom, Georgia Smith, and his dad, Dr. Patrick Smith. Patrick's favorite teacher is Mrs. Lisa Hoover. Our next senior is Jackson Steiner. Jackson is escorted by his mom, Jonna Steiner, and his dad, Rick Steiner. Jackson's favorite teacher is Mr. Ben Minette. Next up, senior Jaden Sutherland, escorted by his mom, Nancy Sutherland, and his dad, John Johnson. Jaden's favorite teacher is Mr. Robert Beck. Next up, senior Kai Abel. Kai is escorted by his mom, Jody Abel, and his dad, Ryan Abel. Kai's favorite teacher is Mr. Craig Mislilchik. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will honor our senior cheerleaders. First up, Abby Basista, escorted by her mom, Christy Basista, and her dad, Ben Basista. Abby's favorite teacher is Mrs. Beverly Jones. Right, that was Abby, right? Next up, senior cheerleader Luca Busick, escorted by her stepmom, Selena Gregg, and her dad, Matthew Busick. Luca's favorite teacher is Mr. Mike Hathy. Next up, Emma Cooley, escorted by her mom, Stacy Cooley, and her dad, Rob Cooley. Emma's favorite teacher is Mr. Vince Scalzo. Our next senior cheerleader is Nina Craigo, escorted by her mom, Joanna Craigo, and her dad, Brian Craigo. Nina's favorite teacher is Mr. Ryan Dunlap. Our next senior cheerleader is Jackie Harps. Jackie is escorted by her mom, Shannon Harps, and her dad, Rod Harps. Jackie's favorite teacher is Mrs. Julie DeWitt. Our next senior cheerleader, Lena Lige, escorted by her mom, Tara Lige, and her dad, Pete Lige. Lena's favorite teacher is Mrs. April McCracken. Our next senior cheerleader, McKenna Morgan, escorted by her mom, Erin Morgan, and her dad, Blair Morgan. McKenna's favorite teacher is Mr. Brad Cavo. Our next senior cheerleader this evening, Dominique Moore. Dominique is escorted by her mom, Shannon Christie, and her dad, Devin Moore. Dominique's favorite teacher is Mr. Craig Mislilski. Our next senior cheerleader, Franny Steiner. Franny is escorted by her mom, Jonna Steiner, and her dad, Rick Steiner. Franny's favorite teacher is Mr. Craig Mislilchik. Fans, please give it up one more time for our fine seniors this evening. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Mount Lebanon Stadium, home of your one-time PIAA and 8-time WPIAL champions, the Blue Devils of Mount Lebanon. Tonight we bring you a WPIAL 6A conference clash as the Hempfield Spartans come into town to take on your Blue Devils. My name is Keith Sala, and I'm joined this evening by my good friend and South Hills legend, Louis Petrogallo, as Brian Walters is far across the pond in Germany and has the night off. This game has big playoff implications as both come into tonight's contest with one conference win, but both still very much alive for a playoff bid. Hempfield comes in with a 4-4 record, 1-4 in conference play, while the Blue Devils sport a 1-7 record, being 1-3 in the conference. Both are coming off tough losses last week and look to get back on track here tonight. We're going to take a pause for the national anthem. So Lou's now joined me in the booth after his duties of announcing the senior class here. It is senior tonight at Mount Lebanon Stadium. So, Lou, let's start with Mount Lebanon. We talked about the playoff implications of this game here tonight. What do they have to do to right the ship here this evening?
Yeah, Keith, one thing you'd say about 6A football is you're never out of it. We still control our own destiny. The team is coming off a series of really hard-fought games. Of course, we had the big win a couple of weeks ago. Seneca Valley played, North Allegheny basically toe-to-toe after the opening kickoff. And last week, again, we were in the game. We were controlling the line of scrimmage for parts of the game. I think they have to get out to a fast start, establish this home momentum at senior night. I think get a lead early, and maybe you kind of extend that lead and play with a little bit of confidence. I think that's what I'm looking for tonight.
Yeah, we talked that it's senior night tonight, and really that offense hums with two big seniors in Pat Smith and Chris Kambitsis.
Absolutely, and you have those two going, but you also get a little bit of help back on the line. So big loss last couple of weeks was Jackson Steiner. Steiner's back. He looks good. I saw him warming up before the game. He is ready to go. So I think that having him back in the interior line, we're still down Whitaker, Patrick Wynn, but having him back I think is going to be a really big factor to the line play tonight and getting Smith and Kambitsis off the line of scrimmage with space.
Absolutely, Lou. And for Hempfield, as we spoke about prior, this is a must-win for them. The playoffs, the 6A playoffs start for them here tonight.
There's no tomorrow. There's no tomorrow for Hempfield. And they have to come out. I think you're going to get their best shot tonight. They have to win this game. So I'm looking for a really good game tonight.
So Mount Lebanon is coming to the tunnel. They're preparing to enter the field. We hear Hell's Bells playing, and we know what that means, Lou. They're getting ready to take the field. We're going to turn it over to our own senior, Ronan Young, here in a minute after the team comes onto the field.
Good.
Wide receiver number 14, Lucas Simmons. Left tackle.
The band's assembling in the south end zone.
Left guard number 57, Jacob Wiederstein. Center.
Onto the field first comes the Spartans of Hempfield. They'll be wearing their away whites over gray this evening.
And at right tackle, number 53, Angelo Apodaca. On defense, at defensive end, number 4,
Hempfield with a really big win, Lou, against Cannon McMillan. But since they really struggled last week against Seneca Valley.
They did, and I actually didn't see that coming. I thought they would handle Seneca Valley. Like you said, really good win against a Cannon Mac team that gave us trouble. So we know that they can do it. And I think it's just what team do you get week to week with these are kids, right? These are 16, 17-year-old kids. What teams are you going to get each week? That's why I think it's so important to establish the line of scrimmage right from the start. Maybe get a little bit of lead. I look for maybe Jacob Zaber to give us some field position to start the game. You very rarely see Jacob hemmed in before the 40-yard line. So get a little bit of field position, get some momentum, and play with the lead tonight.
And here come your Blue Devils onto the field here on senior night. You know, last week, if you watching a bit of the Hempfield game, the one thing that Seneca Valley was able to do was to break up that Detruff to Simmons combination. Detruff, their standout quarterback, played very well all year. His favorite target in that offense has been Lucas Simmons, but it's really that front seven that disrupted the timing of the Detruff passing game for Hempfield. So hopefully we can see a little bit of the same here tonight out of the Mount Lebanon Blue Devil front seven. So we're going to turn it over to our own senior, Ronan Young, for his 3 keys to the game. Ronan.
All right, Mount Lebanon, it's officially the last Friday Night Football broadcast that we have here at Mount Lebanon. Thank you all for tuning in, and you have a good one in store today. We have Hempfield versus Mount Lebanon, and let me just say I'm very excited for this matchup. The Mount Lebanon Blue Devils look to keep their playoff hopes alive against this struggling Hempfield team. Solid record, but a couple sneaky wins for both of these teams. This would be a huge win, especially for Mount Lebanon, to keep those playoff hopes alive. Here are my 3 keys for your Mount Lebanon Blue Devils tonight. Number 1, soak it all in. Tonight is senior night here at Mount Lebanon. I think that if the seniors really soak it all in and play with 110% like they should here on their last Friday night home football game, they will. Next up, you got to play like your life depends on it, because it does here in the sense of your playoff life. I think that if Mount Lebanon punches and keeps punching and then keeps punching a little more, they'll come out with a win in this one, and they'll keep their playoff hopes alive going into Norwin next week. Finally, play Mount Lebanon football. Don't play down. Don't try and play up. Don't do anything too fancy. Run the ball until you need to throw it, and then get Pat Smith into open space. I think that'll do enough and do enough for you to get this win tonight here. That's it. Don't play down. My score prediction for tonight is 23-21 to your Blue Devils. Let's go, Lebo. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ronan, for that. And in the meantime, the referees did perform the coin flip. It looks like Lebo won the toss and deferred, and Hempfield will receive, and they'll drive towards our south end zone. During that coin flip, we did have an honorary captain that we'd like to recognize. It was Charlie Malone. Charlie is a second grader at Jefferson Elementary School. He plays flag football, soccer, golf, and basketball. Charlie loves Friday Night Lights, especially cheering on his brothers, former Blue Devil player Michael and current Blue Devil captain Joe. Welcome, Charlie. So we prepare, Lou, for the kickoff. As we said, Mount Lebanon will be kicking into the north end zone to start this contest. It's received at the 11-yard line by Hempfield, where he's met up over the 20 by a host of Blue Devils.
Yeah, good gang. I think it was 22, Keith. I think that was number 22, Andrew Benz. Good gang tackle. A lot of pursuit over to the ball carrier, and I'd say that's a win for the kickoff coverage team.
Absolutely.
And Keith, you were talking about getting pressure. You know, you have Patrick, of course, coming off the edge. Big old Jackson Kramer as well. I'd like to see some pressure off the edge. We've seen, of course, our guy 72 Bronkar get a lot of pressures this year too. So let's see how this line starts out. Try to disrupt the quarterback a little bit. 1st and
10 Spartans from their own 25-yard line. Detruff takes the snap, looks wildcat up over the left side, finds little room, gets maybe up over the 25 to the 26. Let's call it a gain of 1, where Hempfield will find themselves at 2nd and 9.
Yeah, good pursuit over there by Patrick Smith. Way to string it out. Really no room there whatsoever for Detruff. It looks like they're going to move a little quick here, Keith.
Detruff gets the play. He has 3 wide out to the right. Takes the snap. He's looking that way to the right. Finds his man in the slot. He's up over the 30 to the 35-yard line, where he'll be very close to a Spartan first down.
Looks like they're going to move the chains, Keith. That was Kopus. Looks like he just got enough. So he likes that target, Kopus, number 3. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. They are moving very quickly, though, here.
Absolutely, Lou. quick pace to this Spartan offense. Once again, Detroff finds his man in the left slot. He's up over the 40 to the 42-yard line.
That was number 1, Troy Sebring.
Good gain on first down.
A little bit too much room, Keith, in between the backers and the safeties there. We have to tighten that up a little bit.
Brings up 2nd and 1 from the Spartan 44-yard line. Shotgun. Detroff looks right. He's pressured. He scrambles. He eludes the first man in pursuit. Comes up over the left side to the 48-yard line, where he'll achieve another Spartan first down.
Yeah, it looked like Broncar and Friedel there, Keith, but a little too much. First down yardage close to midfield. They're moving quickly. Hempfield looks good.
Single setback behind Detroff. We got motion. He hands to that single back. Little room. Couldn't quite see Lou who was on the tackle, but let's call that no gain for Hempfield. 2nd and 10.
Angry group there, Keith, on that one. That was Kramer and Broncar cleaned up by Friedel, but that was an angry group. I'd like to see a little more of that. Nowhere to go there.
Once again, Spartans in the pistol. 3 wide to the right. Detroff looks to the sideline for the play. Takes the snap, inside handoff once again, but once again the Blue Devil defense is up to the task. Loss of yards on the play, Lou.
Yeah, so Kramer was in so quickly the running back didn't even know what to do. He took a peek over at big old 55, and just as he turned his head back, Joe Malone was there to clean him up. So really good defense there, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and long. Look for a quick strike to Copus here. Maybe have Kevin King tighten up a little bit on number 3.
3rd and 9. The back motions to the right. He looks over the middle, but that's intercepted by the Blue Devils. Is that number 9? Is that Joe Malone?
Yep.
Number 9, taking it the whole way. Only one man to beat, and he's into the end zone for the Mount Lebanon touchdown. Big play, Joe Malone, pick 6.
So, Keith, that is the play the Blue Devils needed to start this game. Just steal the momentum away from Hempfield. Joe Malone read that screen all the way. No doubt, the whole time he read the quarterback's eyes. Detroff tried to set the screen up. He never saw number 9, and it's 6-0 Blue Devils. Let's get this extra point now.
Fantastic play by the Blue Devil defense. Lou, it looked like they tried to set up that middle screen, right, and take advantage of an aggressive front 7 and 3rd and long, but Joe Malone was the man on the spot.
He would have none of it. Good blocking downfield, too.
Snap is back. The ball's down. The kick's away. And that kick is good.
So, Keith, this has been an improving situation here. This kid is developing now, Josh Huff. He's had some struggles, but I will tell you, in the last 2 to 3 weeks, he's really improving. His kicks look good. That looked like that could have been good from 40 yards. So, kudos to Josh and the whole team, the snap and hold team as well. I think Jacob Zaber's on the hold there. So that's an improving unit. Good to see. 7-0.
Yep. Lou, to your point at the top of the broadcast, getting off to that fast start. Mount Lebanon earlier in the season was having a little bit of a habit of getting themselves into early holes and then having to dig out. And they were doing very well in the second half of those games and trying to dig out. But to come out and get ahead and really put the Spartans back on their heels here, definitely been a different look so far here tonight.
Yeah, and Hempfield had a little bit of momentum. They were moving quickly, as we mentioned. But then there were 2 run stuffs, and so that puts you in a 3rd and long, about 3rd and 9, and that's not a position that Hempfield quarterback wants to throw out of. So I'd like to keep that up.
Lou, you're going to have to help me. I can't see those numbers on the Hempfield jerseys. I'm not sure who's back deep for the Spartans.
I think Bence is back there. I got to get you the other number here in a second when he turns our way.
Huffs kicks away.
Bence did not get the kick, 29. So that one went to Duron Hunter. Duron Hunter, number 29. Pretty good return out close to the 30, where he'll be wrapped up by a host of Blue Devils.
So the Spartans will take over for their second offensive series of the night after the turnover, the pick 6 returned by Joe Malone for the Blue Devils to take the lead. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The trips left.
So Detriff still in the shotgun, in the pistol formation, fakes the inside handoff, looks in the slot, out over to the left, finds his target. He's up over the 30 to the 34-yard line. Decent gain on first down. Let's call it 6 yards. Well, it would be 2nd and 4.
Likes that quick action, Keith.
He's getting rid of the ball fast, Lou.
Yeah, Kambitsis was on the play quickly, but does like that quick action, quick release.
Detriff looks to the sideline for his signal. He's got 2 receivers right, 2 left. Single set back, takes the snap. Inside handoff. No, he pulls it. It was a little read option. Doesn't find much open field up over the left side. Let's call it a gain of 1 out to the 35-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Spartans. Big down.
It looked like Easton Darcy over there, number 57, Keith, and Lahota was in the area as well. Good discipline by Lahota to stay tight and not run off with the receiver, because he will keep it and run it, Detriff. 3rd and 4.
4 wide once again. Detriff takes the snap. He's looking over the middle. No, he's looking over to the left. He misses, overthrows his target right at about midfield, and that's going to bring up 4th and 3. You'd have to think from this point in the field, we're going to see the punt unit for the Spartans coming out.
Yeah, that was Kopus over there, Keith. Sam McCulley was charging hard. That pass was just overthrown.
Big stop for the Blue Devils here in the second offensive series for the Spartans.
The ever-dangerous Mr. Zaber back now, Keith.
There he is. Young sophomore, number 3. Looks like that punt's going to come down in front of him. He's going to let it bounce. And it's going to roll to a stop right around the Blue Devil 30-yard line where the Spartans will down it. And that's where the Blue Devils will take over on their first offensive series of the night. 1st and 10. So with this offense, Lou, it starts and ends with Pat Smith. He's averaging 120 yards rushing per game, which is a remarkable number. Definitely lead, as far as quarterbacks being able to run in WPL 6A.
Incredible. And the way he's patient and picks his holes, typically he likes to run in between the trenches, and he picks his hole, and then when he puts his foot down and plants, forget it.
So they come set up 5 wide. No one in the backfield with Pat. Calling the signal. Takes the snap. Looks right. He finds his target in that right slot, right around the right hash. And I think you just spoke about him. Is that number 3 Zaber?
No, that was Colin Kramer,
okay.
Who's turned into a nifty little receiver this year. He just dropped right into the open spot in the zone and turned his number 2 around and gave Patrick a target. Keith, I've seen the empty back set this year. This is a new look.
It's the first I've seen it. Nice gain on first down. Let's call it 7 yards.
Yeah, Kramer has been improving, and I've been impressed with his routes. He's made some really nice plays the last few weeks.
2nd and 3 for the Blue Devils from their own 42-yard line. Smith takes the snap, looks left, finds his target. That's 16, Driscoll. He gets tackled just up over the 40-yard line. Looks like enough for a Mount Lebanon first down, Lou.
They're going to move the chains. Good pitch and catch. Again, speaking of another kid improving and getting better each week, Jackson Driscoll is turning into a really good, solid receiver. Just a sophomore.
He motions 11, but Pat takes the snap, calls his own number, and Wildcat straight up the middle. As you said, Lou, between the tackles. Good gain on first down. Let's call it about 5, maybe check that, 6 yards. We'll bring up 2nd and 4 from the Blue Devil 47-yard line.
Keith, you start peeking a little bit because you have Patrick getting the ball out quickly to receivers. You just take a peek maybe out on the edge, and Patrick will just slam right up the middle. This is a really well-executed drive so far.
So they switch back to the 4 wide look. Patrick with a sidecar. It's Kambitsis, but he calls his own number again. Comes up over the left side, makes the first man miss. Runs through the second man, finishes forward, comes up into Spartan territory, tackled at the Spartan 44-yard line. 1st and 10 Blue Devils.
Give a little credit to Adam Higgins, number 53. He pulled, and he cleared the way for Patrick and allowed Patrick to get an extra 6 yards. A really well-designed play. Good run by Patrick up in space.
Good momentum here for the Blue Devil offense in their first series of the evening. Once again, 5 wide. Smith in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks right. And he's pressured from the right side. I don't know, Lou. I think he got the ball away, but I don't know if there was a receiver in the area. I hope there was, because he was under heavy duress.
Yeah, he was definitely inside the hash marks. We're half going to see. Looks like they're talking about it, Keith. This will be a big loss of down.
There is no foul for intentional grounding.
We'll take
Number
that.
7 was ruled in the area.
We'll take
Wow,
that.
that's a big break for the Blue
Second
Devils.
down.
That could have been a loss of 15 yards,
Those are
Lou.
drive killers.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't see the number that right end coming off and applying the pressure to the backfield. Might have been number 6 here.
It was either 6 or 55,
Yeah.
but it was very good pursuit. Got a step on Bronkar back into the backfield.
Yep.
Now we do have Zaber in the backfield now, Keith, and I think you're going to see a little more of that tonight.
Zaber in that sidecar to the right of Smith. 4 wide. Smith takes the snap, follows Zaber through the hole, comes up to about the 40-yard line of the Spartans, just short of the 40, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, wanted to get a little bit more there and keep the 3rd and short script. Now we're going to have to but this might be 4 down territory, Keith.
You would have to think with the lead in Spartan territory, you might be thinking about 2 downs to get this first down. Smith with the snap, looks right, overthrows his man on the slant. That looked like Kramer, number 2, once again, Lou. It's going to be fourth down Blue Devils.
Yeah, Kramer had just a little bit of inside leverage on Kopus, number 3. Ball was just a little high. Kramer had created a little bit of space, but don't want to give these guys the ball back on the 41 here, Keith.
No, you don't. But once again, as you said, 4 down territory, at least it appears, for the Blue Devils.
Might do a hard count. Let's see.
Smith takes the snap. He rolls right, breaks the pocket, looking, finding no one, and then just throws it away. Good coverage by the Spartans on that play. Not much in the way of options for Pat Smith, and the Spartans will take over in downs.
Yeah, that was just really well played by Hempfield. Good defense. Nobody bit on the fake when Patrick was rolling out to the right. Everybody kind of stayed in their zones and stayed on their man. So tip your cap was good defense. Well played by the Spartans.
So you like the aggressiveness out of the Blue Devil offense, but you know the problem is you do give Hempfield good starting field position in a somewhat short field here, starting at their own 41.
Yep, not ideal. Not ideal. Looks like Bronkar is going to enter back late in the field here.
3 wide for Detroff. He fakes the inside handoff, looks over to the left, finds a man in the slot. There does appear to be some laundry on the field.
Yeah,
And we unfortunately
I think, Aiden Bronkar is injured, and there is a flag. So let's see. We'll say that was a nice play by Detroff to hesitate when he didn't have that slant initially. Patrick Smith was in the air. He hesitated, and then he waited for that slant to open.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense number 53. 5-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
That's a big mistake for Hempfield. You know, we talk about simple things, right, and being a winning football team, one of which, you know, is penalties, especially, you know, we talk a lot about pre-snap penalties, but, you know, controlling your penalties and trying to win that turnover game. And obviously Hempfield right now, that was a really good gain for them on 1st down, big penalty. And as we all know, they're behind in that turnover margin as well. So really big break for the Blue Devil defense.
Well, Keith, on the books it'll be a 5-yard penalty, but in reality it wiped out a 25-yard gain.
Exactly.
So, looks like Aiden Broncar's okay. Maybe got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. He's up and moving. He's a junior, I believe, so we'll be seeing him next year too, 72. He plays with a motor. He'll get in the backfield.
So with that penalty, the Spartans are marked back to their own 36-yard line. It will be 1st and 15 for Detroff. 4 wide, single setback. And the ref winds the clock.
He does look for Kopus, Keith. I'm watching. He's got eyes for number 3. He likes to target him.
Takes the snap, looks left, finds his man in the slot.
That's Troy Sebring.
gets right up to about the 40-yard line, gets the most of that penalty yardage back, Lou, but it's still going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Spartan offense.
Yeah, good pursuit. 2nd and long.
You'd like to see them, the Mount Lebanon defense keep the Spartans behind the sticks and force those third and long situations, Lou.
I mean, no team likes to be in 3rd and long. Hempfield really doesn't like to be in 3rd and long. It's an uncomfortable position for them, so I'd like to see that keep up.
Detriff calls the signal. He motions number 1. Oh, and that was to the motion man, number 1, out over the left side. But, boy, did he take a pop there, Lou.
Sam McCulley was a freight train out to that boundary and just knocked that ball right out of his hands. What a great pursuit by Sam. Good play. Sam's finally healthy. You know, he was nicked up a little bit earlier in the year. So good to see senior back playing hard. Great to see 26 back there. Got a touchdown a couple weeks ago.
3rd and long, Spartans. 1 motions again. Swing pass out to the right side to the back. Comes up over the 45 to the 46-yard line where he's met by the Blue Devil defense. He's going to bring up 4th and 5 for the Hempfield Spartans.
Good hard tackle by Kevin King, Keith. Right in the thigh, right where you want to see it. Didn't move another inch after contact.
Well, you know you got to win a game, and you're in the playoffs. This is a pretty aggressive play here for the Spartans, but it looks like they went hard count, and the Blue Devils bit.
They did.
Encroachment, defense, number 52. 5-yard penalty.
Keith, where was the watch down. The ball call from the sidelines like we used to always say when we coached Little League football?
It makes you wonder if they were going to call that play, Lou. Yeah, I mean, that was a very aggressive call from inside their own end of the field. The ball's on the 47-yard line, 46-yard line. I'm wondering if that was the intent was to try to draw Mount Lebanon offside. Regardless, it worked.
Yeah, I think they were going for the hard count for sure.
Empty backfield for Detriff, 5 wide. He's flushed out of the pocket, comes right through the middle, and the ball is loose, but it looks like Hempfield's recovered it up over the 50.
A big old 55 got back on top of that. Brock Heisler, that was a very heads-up play because that ball was rolling around midfield. That's a pretty big break for Hempfield.
Nice play for Heisler.
Oh, I didn't see you stripped. I didn't see you stripped Detriff on that one, but good play.
Heisler was unsure for tonight. Potentially fractured his hand last week. He's the Harvard commit, big lineman for the Spartans. Back to 4 wide. Detriff drops, looks left, has a man, but he's errant with the pass. Looked like the Spartan had a bit of separation there, but the pass was behind him.
Yeah, Kevin King in the neighborhood over there did have a little bit of space, a little bit of an errant pass. But, boy, these guys like to throw the ball downfield, Keith. They're going to push the momentum here in the air.
How many carries have we seen? And more importantly, for how many yards?
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah. 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 from the Blue Devil 48-yard line. Number 3 comes in motion across the formation. Detriff swing pass to the left to his single back. Nice move to make the first man miss. He gets up over the 40-yard line, really close to first down yardage. It's going to be close. Looks like they're going to move the chains, Lou.
Yeah, that was a really nifty individual effort. That was Aiden Steinbeiser. Really, really good individual effort on that screen action.
Little trip bunch pattern out to the left where he finds his little receiver screen. Has some blocking out over that left side. Big gain on first down for the Spartans up over the 20. Looks like they're going to mark it, let's say, at the Blue Devil 21-yard line, 1st and 10, Hempfield.
Just that fast action, Keith DeCopus. Ball's in his hands in a second, and then he's got room to run.
They have that same trips bunch pattern out to the left, Lou.
May need to look at pulling the corners up a little bit. Lahota might want to play a little tighter.
This time he pitches out to his back, and there's not much there. I got to tell you, the Blue Devils are all over the Spartan run game right now, Lou.
Yeah, that was 25 Steinbeiser again, and Kevin King came up in very quick pursuit. Again, tackling around that thigh area, taking the legs out. Perfect form tackle.
Really good play out of both safeties here so far tonight, Lou.
Yes. McCauley and King have looked really good. Coming up and hitting, which is what you need.
We've got an empty set for Detriff, 5 wide. Looks to the sideline for his call.
Almost looked like a little option action on that last one, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll do it for the first quarter.
And that's the end of the first quarter. We're going to turn it over to our sideline reporter, senior Ronan Young, for his thoughts after 1 quarter of play here tonight.
All right, everyone, that's Mount Lebanon 7-0 after an amazing start from Joe Malone on the defensive line, taking that ball at the line of scrimmage and just running it right back into the Hempfield end zone. What a way to start for him. That play was 47 yards for Malone with an absolutely incredible awareness to jump up, take it, and back into the end zone. Great play from him. But I'll also mention this. The drive that we've seen has been pretty good in my opinion. I mean, they're laying down hits like it's 2008 out there. Sam McCauley with a couple over there on the Hempfield sideline and a couple more throughout the game. I really like how hard we're hitting, and I feel like this team just has a lot of swagger about them tonight. Let's see what Mount Lebanon has in this second quarter. Thank you, Ronan Young.
Thank you, Ronan. Well, Lou, good start for the Blue Devils. 7-0 after 1 quarter of play. They got out fast, and, once again, they're not playing from behind, which is a good position to be in.
Yeah, we talked about establishing that early lead. And, Keith, you have to mention on senior night, let me get this straight. The honorary captain was, I think, the youngest Malone, little brother, second grader. He walks out with his big old number 9, Joe. And what happens on the first drive? Pick 6. That's a pretty good start for the Malone family.
Absolutely. So the Spartans are threatening deep into Mount Lebanon territory. We'll reset the scene. It's second at about 8 for the Spartans from the Blue Devil 19-yard line. This has been a pretty steady drive here for Hempfield.
They've looked good. Yeah, they've established the pass game.
5 wide, empty set for Detriff. Comes up to the line. Makes his call. Takes the snap. Looks right. Can't find a man. Has very good protection. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, and it looks like he just threw it away. Boy, it had to have been good coverage in the secondary, Lou, because he had a ton of time to throw the ball. Yeah,
that took a lot of time to develop. Finally, you had Easton Darcy come up 57 and make some pressure, but just very good coverage. You look at Sam McCauley and Zaber over there. Kevin King had come over to that side as well. So, yeah, really good coverage, and now 3rd and long.
3rd and 8 from the Blue Devil 19-yard line. Detriff, single step back. Motions the man out of the slot, but he gives the inside handoff to his back, but there is no room. Did the ball come out, Lou?
Looked like the ball came out. But I think that the Spartans hopped back on it. That was Steinbeiser, I think, it put on the carpet. But that's going to be now 4th and 11. I don't know if they have a kicker or not. Looks like
they're bringing a kicking team on.
Coming on.
Yeah, loss of 3 on the play. So it's 4th and 11 from the Blue Devil 22-yard line. This will be a 39-yard field goal. So a pretty decent distance.
You'll see what kind of leg the young man has. Looks like that's Sawyer Luthold.
Snaps back, the ball's down, the kick's away. And it looked like he had good accuracy, but just short. Just short.
So the Blue Devils will take it.
We dodged one there, Lou. A little bend but don't break.
Yeah, catch your breath. Bend but don't break. And keep them off the scoreboard. So that's a win for the defense, but a little too much room at times. We might need to tighten a few things up, tune a few things on D. But we're bringing the wood tonight, though. I'll tell you what, the safeties in particular.
You definitely started to see the Hempfield Spartan offense gain a little bit of rhythm there. Something that we're going to have to watch as we move forward here in this second quarter. We've got 10:59 remaining here in the second quarter as the Blue Devils take over from their own 20-yard line. 3 wide, single set back for Smith. Takes the snap, calls his own number out over the left side. But that man came off the right edge, and he snuffed that play out quickly, Lou. I couldn't get a number on that. Those Hempfield numbers are hard to see.
I think that was number 6, Jacob Morgan. And just a really good individual effort to get in the backfield. Loss of 3.
Second down and 13 for the Blue Devils. Looks like we're going to go 4 wide. Sidecar to the left for Smith. Takes the snap. Looks to the left. Looks to his target out of the backfield. That was number 15, Cam Bitsis, on a swing. Weren't able to hook up. This could bring up 3rd and long for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, wasn't a lot of room over there either, Keith. Again, that was our guy number 6, Morgan, who had read the flat there, so it might have been okay going incomplete. But again, this is not the situation Mount Lebanon wants to be in.
No. Morgan's played well so far here tonight.
Yeah, he's a good ball player.
Smith with the snap. Looks over the middle. Now comes a man breaking to the right hash. That's Driscoll. Makes the first man miss, second man miss. It took the third to bring him down as he gets up over the 35-yard line to the 37. Let's call it the 36. Big gain on 3rd and long. Big conversion on 3rd down for the Blue Devils.
Boy, young man playing ahead of his years there, Keith. He catches the ball. He still has 6 or 7 yards to get up to the sticks. He's patient. He takes a look. He picks his way through. Knew where he had to get to. Excellent play by Jackson Driscoll. And a good little pass. Patrick let his momentum carry him as well. So good job.
If this drive produces points, remember that big 3rd down conversion. Smith now looks to the left. Ooh. He was looking for number 2, Kramer. I got to tell you, the Spartan defense was there. And if he made that jump on the ball, there was nothing but green in front of him.
I was watching number 3, Kopis, and very happy that he got a little bit of a late jump on that because, yeah. They're jumping on the underneath stuff to Kramer. You also have number 11, Ford Schmidt. They're jumping on that underneath stuff. You might be able to hit him with a pump and go here.
Smith with a single set back to his right. Calls his own number up the middle. Finds a lot of green. Great blocking. He breaks a tackle, and they're not going to catch him, Lou.
Nope.
He's going to break that off for a big Mount Lebanon touchdown. That's Pat Smith, 65 yards in for the Mount Lebanon touchdown.
You know, Keith, when you're sitting at this vantage on the 50-yard line and you're seeing what Patrick's seeing, and it doesn't look like that big of a crease, but there's a crease, and then plant and go. It's incredible how he gets his momentum moving forward, and then it's too late. He's too big and strong. Once you've figured out he's into the clear, it's too late.
Well, you talk about
Beautiful
that
run.
You talk about that plant and cut, that little jump cut, but you got to remember that's a 220-pound kid.
Yeah. Yeah, strong as an ox, and once he's out in the open field, I wouldn't want to tackle him.
And he showed some speed, really got separation. So the snap's back, ball's down, and the extra point is good.
Boy, this keeps getting better and better for this kid Huff. Just a sophomore, 28. That one looked like it could have been good from 35-40.
Great execution on the extra point, and that makes it your Mount Lebanon Blue Devils 14, the Hempfield Spartans 0. We got 9:27 remaining here in the first half. Luke keeps getting better.
And we talk about the seniors on senior night. So, Keith, did you know who snapped that ball? That was senior Chris Kambitsis. MacGyver, who does a little bit of everything. He'll make a tackle on a kickoff. He'll run the ball. He's a great linebacker. He also doubles as the long snapper. So great execution. Kambitsis, Zaber, Huff.
And maybe a little shout on that Smith touchdown. That entire front offensive line of the Blue Devils are all seniors, and great blocking on there. Really, all you got to do is give Pat Smith a little bit of room, and he knows what to do with it. But that offensive line absolutely created that hole.
Fantastic.
Huff places the ball on the 40 for the kick. And we got the Spartans back on their heels here a bit. What grade is Huff?
Huff's a sophomore.
All right. He approaches the ball. The kick's away. Spartans fumble. The ball's on the turf. He recovers. Made the first man miss. Now a second man miss. Made the most out of what was really a tough situation. Gets up over the 20 to maybe the 21-yard line where the Spartan offense will take over.
Yeah, it looks like Ford Smith wrestled him down, but it was a pretty good recovery. That looked like that could be a disaster, and he ended up getting it out over the 20. So Nice job by the young man there. Give the credit to Ford Schmidt on the tackle.
So let's see if this Blue Devil defense can't tighten up a bit. Last drive, as we mentioned, Spartan offense finding a bit of rhythm, mainly all Detriff in the pass game. Takes the snap, looks out here to the left, finds his man, that's number 3, makes the first man miss, gets up over the 25 to about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, just that quick action to Copus, number 3 again.
Let's call it a gain of 7.
I think he's looking at the space they're giving him off the line there and taking it. Now you see Lahota tightening up a little bit. I think the coaches just said, hey, go ahead and get up on the line a little bit.
Maybe a bit too much cushion. Detriff looks at 2nd and 3. Takes the snap, inside handoff. Not much room. Runner does get up over the 35, or sorry, check that, the 30-yard line. Let's call it right at the 30-yard line. And it looks like it's going to be 3rd and very short, Lou.
I think it's going to be 3rd and short. I had Kimbitsis and Malone in on those tackles, on that tackle.
Interesting. They might be bringing in a bit of a heavier package here, Lou, in 3rd and short.
Which we really haven't seen.
Yeah, we've got tight ends all over the place in H-backs, only 2 wide. And Detriff calls his own number up over the left, gets up over to 30, out to about the 33. That's first down Hempfield.
Yeah, it's a good run, good smart play. Quarterback's a pretty big kid, and plenty of push off the left side, so first down.
So Hempfield has the ball at their own 33-yard line. Detriff 2 wide. There's a little bit less of a spread out formation for the Spartans once again. Takes the snap, inside handoff. Not much room up over the left side for the running back. I think he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's call it no gain, Lou. Maybe a very short game. We're going to call it 2nd and 9, maybe a long 9.
Yeah, Keith, I had Easton Darcy 57 on first contact. He's a big kid, and he's been playing more and more.
Been calling his name a lot tonight, Lou.
Yeah, and cleaned up a little bit there by Ben McCulley, but yeah, good play by Easton.
Detriff back with 4 wide. Motions his back 25 to the right. He's looking over the middle, finds no one. He's flush from the pocket. Then he checks down to his back. That was 25. Looked like the ball was on him. Unfortunately for Hempfield, the ball was dropped. It's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Hempfield Spartan offense.
Yeah, good rush. Kramer and Darcy again were pursuing, and I think that he rushed the throw a little bit because of that. So again, put him in that 3rd and long. Looks like we have 74 in there, Keith. I'm not sure who that is. I'm trying to figure out. Saw him just enter the game, young man.
Once again, that's what really took Detriff out of his pass game last week against Seneca, was the pressure from the Seneca front 7. So hopefully we can continue to see that out of our Blue Devil defense. 4 wide for Detriff. Takes the snap. He's looking long out here to the left. Has his man. That's number 14. He high points the ball and makes a great catch. That was number 6. Lahota in coverage. But the Spartan gain is down to the Mount Lebanon 27-yard line. Big gain. Boy, 14's tall, Lou.
Lucas Simmons, beautiful catch. High pointed it, like you said, soft hands. And, Lahota wasn't in bad position, but it was a beautiful catch.
Detriff motions his back 25 to the right, looks back here to the left, and once again, that's number 14, Simmons. Good gain for the Spartans on first down.
Yeah, good pitch and catch again to Simmons. He's going to exit the game. Maybe that's a good thing. I'd
like to find numbers on 14. He's got to be 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, he's lanky.
Once again, you're right. Lahota had great coverage on that play. It was just a great pass by Detriff, and 14 was able to high point the ball and use his height. 4 wide for Detriff. Number 25 in the backfield with him. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout, Hempfield, so they can think it over. So 5:40 remaining here in the second half. Hempfield starting to threaten. They're looking at a 2nd and 3 from the Blue Devil 20-yard line after a big gain. Detriff to Simmons. Lou, once again, hopefully we can see a little bend up, but no break here.
Yeah, that's the key. Even a field goal here would be okay. I'd like to keep them out of the end zone and keep that 14-point lead if possible.
Yeah, it seems like Hempfield's been able to get their yards here tonight, but we're keeping that goose egg on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they're moving the ball well. It seems like Mount Lebanon almost goes into a prevent at times and is willing to give some of the yards up. But now down around the goal line, you start to get an extra defender, which is the end zone, out of bounds. So I think that things will get a little tighter here for Hempfield. How about Hempfield's uniforms, Keith? I like those. I feel like the Lions of the 80s and 90s with Barry Sanders. I like the gray. That's new.
I just want a bigger number. I can't read the numbers.
But
you're right. That does look Barry Sanders-ish.
Simmons checks back in down on the left here, Keith, so let's keep an eye on that one. Matched up against Lahota again.
The Blue Devils blitz, and they get the Detriff. That's a big loss on the play for Hempfield. I think they brought 7, maybe 8 on that play, Lou.
Love the call. I love the call to bring Kambitsis right up the middle. They did not have enough blockers and couldn't handle it, and that's just a great call right there. Now you have a 3rd and long. Talk about that bend it, don't break. Don't give the points.
That's it. Loss of 10 on the play. Back to the Mount Lebanon 30-yard line where Detriff is facing 3rd and long. It's called 3rd and 13. 4 wide. Motion Simmons. He's looking out here to the left. Has all day. Comes back to the right. There's 2 men in the pattern. I got to tell you, that was a pretty good throw, but it seemed to be a bit of confusion on the Hempfield offense where you had 2 receivers in the same exact location, Lou.
Yeah, that was a mix-up for sure. You never want to have 2 players that close, and then you're also attracting 2 defenders that close. So that was definitely a mix-up. Is that a flag we see down there? No, maybe not. It might be a towel. Okay. Looks like that might be a towel over there.
Well, the ref's on his mic here. Oh, he did. He called motion. Looks like he called motion.
Keep pushing him back.
It's a backfield. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is 4th down.
Oh, it's 4th down. I thought it was 3rd down. Yep.
So that was 3rd down. They declined the penalty to bring up 4th down.
You keep everything in front of you here.
This is go territory for Hempfield.
Yeah, this is no man's land. You're not going to kick from here, so just keep everything in front of you here for the Blue Devils.
3 wide for Detriff. Single set back to his left. Motions his H-back. It's number 1. Takes the snap. Looks over the middle. Boy, and there was nothing but blue jerseys there, Lou.
Boy, Kramer was about a quarter of a second away from disrupting that pass, and then the pass was thrown into nothing but Navy jerseys. So really good. It's that bend but don't break, Keith, and here we are, 14-0, and we get the ball back at the 30. So really good defense by the Blue Devils.
Yeah, big credit to the D coordinator there. They were looking at 2nd and short, and they brought the house, maybe 7-8 on that blitz for that 10-yard loss. And that, like you said earlier tonight, those are drive killers.
Kambitsa shot out of a cannon, and they could not pick him up, and that was the difference in that drive.
So the Blue Devils will take over on downs at their own 30-yard line.
Plenty of time, 4:46.
4 wide for Smith. He pulls the ball from the inside handoff, calls his own number out over the left side. Minimal gain on 1st down. Let's call it a gain of 1. Bring up 2nd and 9 for the Blue Devils.
You take the air out of the ball a little bit here, Keith. Get the clock churning. Don't give the ball back to Hempfield. Sustain a long drive. Get some points going to the locker room. I think that would be the play here.
4:23 and winding here in the second quarter. 2nd and 9 for the Blue Devils. Smith makes his call. Looks like 3 wide out. Oh, he motions his H-back. Takes the snap. Wildcat up the middle. Finds Green. Flag on the ground.
Yeah, I think we got a hole run. Schmidt potentially, number 11. I think he had a little too much jersey there, Keith.
So at first glance, good gain for Smith. But it looks like they're walking it back.
Holding. Offense, number 11. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
So that's going to set the Blue Devil offense back a bit. It's going to take them all the way back to their own 21-yard line.
It's a tough one. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Now we're looking at 2nd and 19, Lou.
It's tough for a lot of reasons, but you also don't want to make a mistake. Now you're back inside your 20. You really want to be careful here. Or no, you're at the 22, but you got to be careful. No big mistakes here.
So 4 wide for Smith. Cam Bitsis is a sidecar to the right. Takes the snap. Looks right. He finds big number 7. Comes up over the 25-yard line. Let's call it to the 27, maybe 28, for a handsome little gain.
Yeah, Siegel's a big target.
Still going to force the Blue Devils into a 3rd and 12 situation. Not exactly where you want to be, Lou.
You don't force something. If you have to punt it, you punt. You have a good punter, Joe Malone. Don't force anything here. You see something you like, take it.
Smith has 4 wide.
See if they maybe look at Driscoll again like they did the last third down.
Takes the snap. Just looking over the middle. A lot of pressure off that left edge. That's number 4. But Pat rolls out to the left side. Lowers his head. Big gain for Pat Smith.
Yeah, great blocking over the left edge. Really nice run. Got us out of our own zone, across midfield. Excellent job, Smith. Excellent job on blocking on the left side as well. I had Jackson Kramer moving people over there.
So that's a big gain of 19 on the play. And it's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Blue Devils. Now out at their own 49-yard line.
Yeah, a little breathing room, Keith, and we needed it after that holding penalty. It's really nice to get back into 1st down yardage.
It was big pressure out of the Spartans, but what a great scramble for Pat Smith.
Still plenty of time, 3 minutes.
Smith takes the snap, surveys, comes out to the right, finds number 2, Kramer, but there's not much room for him. The Spartans were up to the challenge on that one.
That took too long to develop. That's got to be thrown quickly out there. Just gave a little bit too much time for the Hempfield defenders to recognize and pursue. That should just be a turn and throw.
Loss of 1 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 11 for Smith in the offense. Takes the snap. Pulls the inside handoff, calls his own number back up over that left side, gets up over the 50 into Spartan territory. Actually, you're going to mark it right at midfield.
Yeah,
so short gain for Smith.
That was close. He almost had that seam.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
Senior Sam McCulley now in the backfield, Keith.
Glad to see that, Lou.
Yeah, me too. He was out a couple of weeks, a little nicked up. He's been playing on both sides of the ball now, contributing.
Smith gets his call from the sideline. 3 wide. McCauley to his left. Smith follows McCauley. But the Spartan defense is up to the challenge. No gain, maybe even a loss of a half yard on the play, where it's going to be 4th and 10 for the Blue Devils. Decision time, Lou.
Yeah, they were ready for that. Hempfield was ready for that one. They pursued the ball. Really didn't get any opportunity for Patrick to get his feet moving and get momentum. So I think you just have Joe punt one away here, play a little defense.
Well, Lou, it looked like they were keeping the offense out on the field, and that was Hempfield reacting to that and taking the timeout.
They have been trying to get them to use one of their timeouts.
Maybe.
They're down to 1 timeout with only 1:34. If Joe can kick this down inside the 20.
So we'll take the break in the action to recognize some of our sponsors. Fans of Mount Lebanon football, we want to extend a big thank you to our sponsor, Edgar Snyder and Associates, for their generous support of the Blue Devil football program. Edgar Snyder and Associates. Go local, go with Edgar. Serving the South Hills community for more than 40 years. Visit edgarsnyder.com to learn more. We'd also like to recognize this year's sponsors of the annual Topgolf fundraising event. A huge thank you to Lynx Brewing, Altamira, and Weiss, Burkhart, and Kramer for your support of the event this spring and throughout the entire season. Thank you from all the Blue Devil fans and the Blue Devil family.
I know they say you're in procurement systems, Keith, but they ought to check you out for marketing.
Hardly, Lou. So they did bring the punt team out. That's Joe Malone back. Hits a good one. Looks like the ball's going to get down on the turf in front of the returner. Goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it at about the 21-yard line of the Spartans, where they'll take over with only 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining in this first half, Lou.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Keith, a lot of reasons why when Captain Joe Malone was out, it was difficult for Blue Devils, but one of them was punting. He really stabilizes the punt game when he came back in, and again, dropped one down to the 20. This is a situation where Hempfield, if they put the ball in the air, it could be dangerous. So maybe we jump on one here.
That's it.
I think they'll probably be conservative from here, though, with 130, 125.
So 4 wide for Detroff. Motions the man from the right slot. Pumps. Scrambles out of the pocket. Finds his man. That looks like number 14, Simmons again. But this time, Lahota seems true to the task. Makes the tackle. We're going to call it a gain of maybe 1 yard. 2nd and 9, Hempfield.
Yeah,
Great play, Lahota.
Really good play by Henry. Didn't give him any chance to get going. Read that all the way.
4 wide once again for Hempfield. He looks over to the sideline. Detroff with the snap. Looks right away. Little wide receiver screen. Catches it at about the 20. Comes up over the 25 to about the 29-yard line of Hempfield, where they'll have 3rd and short. They're down to 27 seconds and winding here in the first half, Lou.
Yeah, nice job by Jacob Zaber keeping him in bounds. Keep the clock running. I think both coaches are content to kind of let this thing run out, get to the locker room with a nice 14-point lead.
So there's the screen over the middle that resulted in a pick 6 for the Blue Devils.
Interesting call.
Early in the game, but he completes it. Receiver gets up over the 35. They're going to mark it at the 36.
I think when they wind the clock here, that'll be it, Keith, on the first half.
So, Lou, first half, the 3 checks, right? Check 1, penalties. I think that's a check plus for Mount Lebanon. We've been very good in that aspect of the game. Number 2, special teams. The special teams has looked very good. And number 3, win the turnover battle. And they appear to be doing that as well. So, check pluses on all 3 tenets.
Very good, clean game. Good tackling, good shore tackling. We've seen a lot of, receivers and running backs kind of stopped in their tracks when they catch the ball. So, very good, clean game. Minimal mistakes. Very good, positive start. This is a game that Mount Lebanon has to have. They have got to start building momentum towards the end of the season here. You forget about last week. You move on. Very impressed with the Blue Devils so far this half.
Yeah, so both of these teams, including Seneca Valley, all 3 of them with 1 win in the conference, chasing Cannon, Mack, and Norwin, who both sit at 2 wins in the conference. Detroff back, takes the snap, a little bit of pressure. Looks like he bounced it into his man over that right side, right about the 45-yard line. Incomplete. We got 1 second left on the clock.
Give the Hempfield coach credit. He is not being passive here. Not very many coaches are going to throw the ball from their own 30 with seconds prevent defense in, but continuing to push it. And this team will come out and run fast in the second half too. They like to throw the ball and get the ball spread it out.
Yeah, they're the type of offense that can probably make a comeback, right? They don't depend on their run game, right?
Yep,
so 5 wide. You got to think Detroff's going to air it out here. Has time. He does air it out down to about the 20, but the Blue Devils are there.
Yep, falls harmlessly down, and we'll head into the locker room.
So that brings an end to our first half, where your Blue Devils are leading 14-0. We're going to take it down to Ronan Young on the sideline for his thoughts on the first half. Ronan.
All right, everyone, so that's Mount Lebanon 14-0 at the half to your Blue Devils. I think they played a very strong first half, really strong on the defensive side, but Mount Lebanon with 2 touchdowns, one on the defensive side of the football and one on the offensive side of the football. Joe Malone with the 47-yard return that we talked about. What a play by him to jump up, catch the ball, and run it right into the end zone. That was a great play from him. Patrick Smith with a 67-yard touchdown running the ball. He is unbelievable in the open space, everyone. That guy, we saw it on his Instagram. He's planning to play in the NFL in 10 years. Running like that, I wouldn't be too surprised. But it almost feels like Mount Lebanon on the defensive side of the ball especially, it's like sharks in the water. You know, they can smell blood every time these Hempfield rushers carry the football. I thought I was watching boxing out there for the first half with all the punches being thrown left, right, and central on these guys. And there was about 4 or 5 forced fumbles there in that first half. I was down there and I was like, okay, ball's out again. It was very consistent, and I love to see that. A turnover can change the game for Mount Lebanon here, and in the future, in the playoffs, if they get in, as they look to keep their playoff hopes alive, up 14 points here, they need to carry this momentum up and keep the ball in their possession, no turnovers, and force turnovers like they have been doing. Chris Kambitsis also did have a sack. They're getting to the quarterback really well in this matchup here. The defense is pitching a shutout so far. I mean, not more than you can ask for there with Chris Kambitsis with the sack, a couple huge layouts to knock the ball out. I will say that Hempfield's passing attack has been very good. They've had a couple wide receivers high tip the ball. That's the one area of Mount Lebanon's game I'd like to see improve in the second half, but nothing of anything craziness because they're really shutting it down in the red zone. Like I said, blood in the water, red zone. So that's what I got for you guys. I think if Mount Lebanon just can consistently put up the points and hold the ball like they have been doing, I mean, the rushing attack is really doing well for Mount Lebanon, especially in that first half. I think if they can continue that, get turnovers, and not turn the ball over, we talked about that last week. Mount Lebanon was actually up last week by about 2 scores late in the game in the fourth quarter, and 3 turnovers let the game slip away. So I really hope that they learned from last week and to not get, too fancy or too much nonsense in the game. That's what I got for you guys. Let's go Mount Lebanon, and thanks for tuning in. That's Ronan Young. Thank you.
Thanks, Ronan. Appreciate that. And, Lou here on senior night, once again, I want to recognize Ronan Young for all the work he's done on this broadcast team over the past few years. Ronan, I believe, is going to go study journalism somewhere in Ohio. I'm not clear on the school. But, yeah, we want to wish him well on his future endeavors and honor him here tonight on senior night. And speaking of seniors, the seniors were the difference for Mount Lebanon here in the first half.
Yeah, they really were. And, real quick on Ronan, it takes courage to come out and do this. You're on the air. You're a young kid trying to get your career started. I think that it's a really neat thing when the students participate in activities like this. I give him a lot of credit. It's really nice of you to call Ronan out. He's been doing this for a while, and he's so energetic, and he's so enthusiastic, and he wants the team to win so much, and it's been really kind of neat getting to know him. Okay, so on to the seniors. We started with senior captain Joe Malone. Pick 6, read a screen pass all the way. The middle screen wasn't there, and picked it, rambled all the way into the end zone. And from there, you talk about Ben McCauley, you talk about Chris Kambitsis, you talk about Patrick Smith. We got Steiner back. The line has had a lot of success tonight. But I'll say this, Keith. I would have to think Coach Perry in the locker room is doing the old adage you and I used to do when we coached. It's 0-0. It is 0-0. We need to come out. We cannot take our foot off the gas. We've got to stay on top of these guys and play on fire because, again, like we said, you got to win games now.
Absolutely. You definitely put the Spartans back on their heels in this must-win game for them. And, with us deferring the kickoff, we get the ball to start the second half. So, if you can get that offense out there, maybe get a third score, so you really put the Spartans in a bad situation. So we're going to turn it over here to the sounds of the Hempfield Spartan Fighting Marching Band, and they'll be followed by your Blue Devil Marching Band. So we'll see you in a few minutes here for the second half.
Brady, I'm 5'8". Brady, I'm 5'8".
Ladies and gentlemen, please help us congratulate and recognize the senior class of the Blue Devil Marching Band. Iris Anderson, with Jennifer Rogers Anderson and Greg Anderson. Parker Boyce, escorted by Marjan and David Boyce. Claire Connolly, escorted by Julie and Colin Connolly. Lizzie Devine, escorted by Mike Devine. Lucy Hernandez, escorted by Kelly and Julio Hernandez. Adia Iobe, escorted by Bethany Iobe. Robert Kennedy, escorted by Laurel and Bob Kennedy. Georgia McElwain, escorted by Rebecca and Chris McElwain. Xander McFarland, escorted by Amy and Doug McFarland. Spencer Miller, escorted by Jason and Jeanette Miller. Isaac Ober, escorted by Eric and Valerie Ober. Margot Peterson, escorted by Crystal and Josh Meyer. Anika Smith, escorted by Priya Sukumaran, Volker Smith, and Anisha Smith. Eleanor Schulte-Albert, escorted by Robert Schulte-Albert, Stephanie Schulte-Albert. Sam Shaw, escorted by Chris and Katie Shaw. Emma Smale, escorted by Jen Fox and John Smale. Kaylee Stuff, escorted by Harry and Jillian Stuff. Margot Tay, escorted by Carrie Farmer and KK Tay. Alexander Thompson, escorted by Pauline Thompson.
That's my section leader!
Vinnie Thompson, escorted by Evie Thompson and Marie Maxwell. Alejandro Boyson Pugliali, escorted by Jose Augusto Boyson and Adrena Boyson Pugliali. Anya Williams, escorted by Kara and Mike Williams. And Madeline Tapko, escorted by Jacqueline and Cameron Tapko. And class of 2026, thank you for being part of our team. Good luck to you as you continue your senior year and prepare for your next steps. Congratulations to you and to all the seniors who are recognized tonight. Please join us later when the Blue Devil Band will perform their last home halftime show after the game. And another note, the band fundraising table right at the end of the stands has an end of the year special and Lobobo raffle tickets. And now announcing the Mount Lebanon High School drum line.
Why does Eli have like a fan literally
On halftime score, Mount Lebanon 14, Hempfield nothing.
Okay, welcome back. We're getting ready for the start of the second half here tonight between Hempfield and Mount Lebanon. Really nice ceremony, Lou, at the halftime, recognizing all the seniors from the band. Obviously, you got to talk about the efforts the band puts in. Obviously, each and every Friday night just brings that special atmosphere to our game day.
Yeah, it's the whole thing, Keith. It's the football team, it's the cheerleaders, it's the band, honoring the seniors. And we talk about this all the time. I can hear the snare drums going in late July, and I know it's almost football season. I can hear them from my house. It always gets the blood flowing. So, yeah, it's kind of a neat thing. You have these three groups together, that kind of work together on Friday nights to make it a really special time. So, good luck to all the seniors. Great group across the board, cheerleaders, band, and football. Color guard, all the seniors. Been a tremendous impact to the school.
So the teams are stretching out here. We got about 2 minutes left until the kickoff here of the second half. We reset the scene. It's 14-0 Mount Lebanon. Obviously, big plays out of Malone and Smith in the first half for the first two scores, Lou.
Yeah, a couple of big plays, which you expect out of Joe and Patrick. You get the ball here. You're up 14. Like to see if we can establish the line of scrimmage again. Start moving people. I think we have a little size advantage on the line. I'd like to see if we can start moving people. Let Patrick pick his spots. Maybe hammer Kambitsis a couple of times. And I think a nice long sustained drive. Get up by 3 scores. That would be ideal.
I'd like to see him chew some clock here at this first possession, Lou. And on defense, it's been that philosophy of bend, don't break. Detriff has definitely found some of his targets here tonight. They've been able to drive the ball with some consistency, but they're yet to find the end zone.
Yeah, kind of a fun offense. They spread the ball around. They've had a lot of success, I'd say, in between the 30 to 30. But that's okay. If you let them have success 30 to 30, as long as you tighten up. But I can see maybe jumping a few of those routes. He will take the snap and throw it right out. If you start tightening up the corners a little bit, you might be able to jump some of those routes because he doesn't take a look. He just throws it right out there. So I'm watching the eyes of some of the cornerbacks. Maybe Jacob Zaber jump a route here and take one the other way.
Yeah, you got to think here in the second half is the Hempfield Spartans, desperation will start to sink in this must-win game for them. It might create some opportunity for that defensive backfield of the Blue Devils to take advantage and look for an early turnover.
Yeah, Hempfield was 3-0 at one point, so there was a lot of talk in the Whitfield that this was a team that was going to be playoff bound. So they're a good team. They've had a couple of hiccups. We talked about the good, really strong effort they had against Cannon Mac. So you can't sleep on these guys in the second half. Like I said, I think Coach Perry probably preached 0-0. This game is starting over right now. You play with the same commitment and consistency we did in the first half. And, I think that's the way you have to approach this thing.
Well, we were scratching our heads a little bit after the game last week against Seneca Valley, but I think true to form, Hempfield's come out here tonight and proven that game last week was more of an aberration than who they truly are. Definitely a good team coming out of Westmoreland County. So the Blue Devils take to the field. Their return team looks like back deep for Mount Lebanon will be the pair of sophomores, number 3, Jacob Zaber, and number 16, Jackson Driscoll, called both their names here in the first half, Lou.
We sure have. Jackson had a huge third down reception where he kind of picked his way up across the first down yardage. And Jacob, I don't even know if they kick the ball to 3 anymore. So I'd like to see him make a mistake and kick one to 3 right now. But just so explosive. Did see Jacob work in a little bit at tailback. We see that from time to time.
So Hempfield approaches the ball. And the kick's away. That's Driscoll taking it from his own 10-yard line. Finds a little bit of room. Doesn't meet resistance from Hempfield till he's up over the 30-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark it at about the 32, where Mount Lebanon will take over 1st and 10 for their first possession of the second half.
Yeah, good sure hands from Jackson. Secured the ball, got up over the 30, good return.
Looks like Zaber with a little bit of a limp coming over here. Hopefully he's okay.
I didn't see what happened to him on this play. Big old sevens out here, Keith. Max and Siegel. You'd like to see if maybe they try to get him the ball a little bit. He's trouble in space. He's kind of our version of Mount Washington on the Steelers.
Yeah.
Big kid.
He's our leading receiver, but you haven't seen too much from him yet tonight.
Nope.
Smith with the inside handoff. I believe that's Cambyses.
That's actually Ben McCauley.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry,
Sammy.
Sam McCauley. Fresh legs over there. Nice to see the senior get a carry.
He looked quick.
He did. You know, Keith, he had a couple of carries last week where I think he ran with about 14 yards one time. Fresh legs.
Yep.
And, yeah, good run, good start.
So big gain for the Blue Devils on first down. Called a gain of 9 yards. They're on their own 42 looking at 2nd and 1. Smith with the snap. Calls his own number up the middle. Now he breaks it out to the right. Outside the right hash. Makes a man miss. Cuts it back inside. Lowers his head. Carries a couple would-be Spartan tacklers with him into Spartan territory over the 45-yard line to the Spartan 44 where it's 1st down and 10 Blue Devils.
I thought he was going to head out of bounds, Keith. He had the first down secured, no problem. Nope, not Patrick, not 14. Plants gets another 7 yards. Good hard run, good blocking. That senior-laden right side of the line, Steiner, Kramer, excellent blocking.
And as you said, Lou, at the start of the half, the run game of the Blue Devils starting to churn that clock here in the second half.
Yeah, long sustained drive.
Once again, inside handoff. That's McCauley again. Comes up over the left side. Modest gain, 1st down. Looks like a gain of about, let's call it 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 from the Spartan 42.
Yeah, Sammy falls forward. 26 falls forward. It looked like that was going to get bottled up quickly, and he ended up getting 3 good hard yards on that. So
Smith sets his line. Has McCauley set off to his right. Malone in motion.
Looked like a little motion over there on the Blue Devils. Cut up a little too soon. Yep.
So those are those pre-snap infractions, Lou, that make these drives a bit harder. It's going to set the Blue Devils back to the Spartan 46-yard line. Going to make it 2nd and 12 for the Blue Devils now.
Yeah, get some of it back here. You don't have to get everything right now. Get some of it back. You may even be in 4 down territory if you get another 6 or 7 yards. So don't have to get everything right now. Chip away.
Number 2, Kramer checks into the game for Ford Schmidt. Snap. Inside handoff to McCauley. Not much room. Hempfield did well to read that. We're going to call it maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
Riley Evans I had, Keith, number 8. How about this? Just a freshman, 5'11", 170. Number 8, Riley Evans. Really good play there in the backfield.
So it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and long for the Blue Devil offense where they go 4 wide. McCauley's still in the backfield. Smith with the snap, drops, looks over the middle. He finds that big target and big number 7. That's Maxton Siegel. Catches the ball, tackled immediately at the 35-yard line. Good gain, but it looks like it's going to be just short of the 1st down by about a yard. You got to think they're going to go here, Lou.
Looks like they're setting up to go for it. I like the call. And just a size advantage there with Siegel on number 2. Terrence Vaughn used his body well, Keith, shielded the inside leverage.
Got to think this is going to be Pat, and it is. Oh, and he fumbles the ball. That's unfortunate. It looks like Hempfield's jumped on it. And we're going to turn that ball over for the first time tonight, Lou.
Yeah, we talked about avoiding mistakes. Defense has to answer now.
So a really promising drive for the Blue Devils in their first possession of the second half. It comes to an end on a turnover. 4th and short. Unfortunately, the ball hit the turf. Spartans on the spot. So they're going to take over at their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for their first possession. Hempfield comes out 4 wide. Number 25, single set back. He motions 25 out of the backfield. Now Detroff looks off to the right, finds his man. Unfortunately, the pass was low. There was pressure back there, and I saw a flag come down, Lou.
You know, that was young Riker Vanderzee, 52, just a sophomore, shot out of a cannon. I think somebody in the interior Hempfield line got a hand on the jersey, and that's what they're going to call. But boy, did he get quick pursuit out of the gate. Fresh legs, hasn't been in a lot tonight yet. I do notice Coach Perry rolling in some of the youngsters from time to time for fresh legs.
So that's going to be marked back 10 yards on the hold, where it's going to be bring up 1st down and now 20 yards for the Hempfield offense.
Yeah, look for something to be pushed downfield now.
Detroff a 4 wide, motions his man out of the backfield again, surveys the field, finds a man out over the right, catches it at the 31, makes a couple people miss, gets good yardage on 1st down, gets all of that penalty yardage and then some. Let's call it a gain of 17 on the play, out to the 46-yard line, where it's going to bring up now 2nd and 3 for the Spartans.
Yeah, Zaber made the stop, but not after a really good gain for Hempfield, setting up a short and really wiping out that penalty, Keith.
That's that little bunch pattern to the right, and he finds that wide receiver screen, but the Blue Devil defense is true to the task. They've run that wide receiver screen a number of times here tonight and had some pretty good success, but not that time, Lou.
Angry tackling, bottled up, hit him low, hit him high. Really nice pursuit. I think that was number 12, Kevin King, kind of laid the hammer there at the end, so really good play.
Small loss on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and a long 3 yards, we'll call it.
You'd love to pick up the offense here, Keith.
Spartans 4 wide again. Motions is back. Detroff is back. There's pressure coming off that left edge. Detroff scrambles, and then he shuffles the ball forward, finds a man. That looks like number 1. No, I'm sorry, that's number 3. On the reception. Gain on the play to the Spartan 48-yard line. 1st down.
They're going to move the chains. I didn't love the spot, Keith. The far judge spotted that a lot further out than the near judge here. I don't love that spot. But they're going to move the chains.
So the Spartans make up for that holding penalty with good yardage here and get themselves a breath of life and another set of downs. Detroff looks off to the right. Man open. Soft coverage over there. A lot of room. I believe that's number 3 again. Hard to see on that sideline.
Yeah, that was 3 Copus. Way too much room over there. Not a Blue Devil defender within 10 yards when that ball was caught. So, again, might want to think about shifting the corners a little tighter. Keep an eye over here, Keith. There's our guy Lucas Simmons, 14. We saw some pretty nifty catches out of him in the first half. So keep an eye. He's got a height advantage on Lahota.
2nd and 4 for the Spartan offense. Only 2 wide, which is a rare formation for the Spartans here out to the left. Detroff's back, surveys the field. Oh, and he has a man wide open over the middle. That looked like number 9 coming out of the slot. He'd gotten behind the Blue Devil safeties, Lou, but fortunately for the Blue Devil defense, Detroff was a little long on his pass.
Yeah, that was Kopus, number 3, Keith, and he had gotten way separated from any Blue Devil by about 7 yards. Big break with that inaccurate throw. Big break.
So we dodge a bullet there.
Might have been a little bit of confusion about who had deep responsibility there, Keith. He came from the slot here, the wide slot.
And he's lined up in the wide slot once again. As Detroff has 3 wide. 3rd and 4. Fakes the inside handoff, hits his man on the slant coming out of the slot. That's going to be first down yardage once again for the Spartan offense. They get up over the 40 to the Lebo 39-yard line. First down and 10 Spartans.
Hey,
what they're doing, Keith, is they're having 25 occupy the linebackers, kind of take them out of the zone and then freeing up the inside. Difficult assignment for a linebacker to stay with Kopus too, so it's a pretty well-designed play.
Spartans driving. 4 wide. Detroff's back, has some time, looks deep. Pretty good coverage over there. That looked like McCauley on the coverage. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10, Hempfield.
Yeah, that play just never developed. McCauley, good coverage in the area. Quarterback really didn't have any room to fit that in. Good coverage by Sam.
2nd down and 10 from the Lebo 39.
Moving very quickly once again, although they will check now back on the sideline.
He shifts his back over to his left. 4 wide. Detroff back, surveys. Looks at a man over to the left. He finds him. That's number 25 out of the backfield. Finds his running back. Short gain on the play. Call it a gain of maybe 2 yards to the Lebo 36-yard line, maybe 37. And it's going to bring up 3rd and long once again for Hempfield, Lou.
Yeah, that was 25, the running back Steinbeiser. We've called his name a good bit. That was well read, though, by Easton Darcy. Didn't really allow that play to materialize.
Looks like Darcy's been giving Pat Smith a bit of a blow at that outside linebacker, huh? Detroff's back. He's flushed now. Comes out to the left, but the Blue Devils are there. Big number 74 on the sack. That's a loss on the play.
I was looking before, Keith. I can't find a 74 on our sheet list. We'll have to get word down to the sideline, find out who that young man is. That was a heck of a play.
Yeah, nice sack. Big loss on the play. Sets the Spartans back to the Lebo 41-yard line. Now they're in a 4th and pretty long, Lou, 4th and 12. But they'll be going for it. Offense stays on the field. 4 wide for the Spartans. Detroff takes the snap. He's back and he's flushed. Comes up the middle, finds a little bit of room in the pocket. That's a shovel pass.
Call that incomplete.
Yep, incomplete. Once again, targeting number 25. But it's incomplete, and that's where the Spartans are going to turn the ball over on downs back to the Blue Devils. Once again, a promising drive, and it's been a story of the night, Lou. A lot of promising drives for the Spartan offense, a lot of yards. But once they get down into that Lebo territory, the sledding's been a bit tough.
Yeah, it just stalls out. And you know, tip your cap to the defense. They tighten up. You know, we keep calling that name Easton Darcy. But the play that he made to snuff out to the running back, they were trying to get them to bite on the action to Kopus again over the middle on the slant. He read it all the way. So, yeah, really good job by the defense picking up the offense after the turnover.
Absolutely. The Blue Devils come out for their second offensive possession of the second half. Smith has Kambitsis in the backfield with him. He's going to follow him on a wildcat out over the left edge. Boy, it looked like he was boxed in, and he just lowers his head, Lou. Gets some significant yards after that contact, and what looked like could have been a loss on the play turns into a short gain for Pat Smith, making the most out of very little there.
Individual effort. There was pursuit in the backfield almost as he was catching the snap. So classic Patrick to get the shoulder pads pointed upfield and get a couple out of it.
So they mark the ball at the Mount Lebanon 44-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Pat has 4 wide. Looks out here to the right to his slot back. That's Ford Schmidt, number 11. Rumbling. Finds some green out over that right edge. He doesn't come out of bounds until he's in Spartan territory. They're going to mark it at the Spartan 43-yard line. Good gain, Smith to Schmidt.
Yeah, Keith, really good downhill running by the tight end, Schmidt. Got the ball, turned upfield, ran hard for another 10 yards. Really good downfield, downhill running by Schmidt. Well, we have a real quick second here, Keith, too. We're talking about all these seniors. I'll call up Mick Murphy, too. He's been a staple there at center. Really, I don't know the last time I've seen an inaccurate snap coming back. 71's been holding down that fort at center a long time this year.
Yeah, a little shout out. I see his brother up from Florida here for senior night,
yeah,
sitting
Murph.
right next to us in the stands.
As Patrick runs right behind little brother Mickey.
Yeah. On call. So a modest gain for Pat on first down. We're going to call it a gain of 4. Gets up over the 40-yard line of the Spartans to their 39. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 6.
Let that clock run, too. The third quarter's kind of running, disappearing here, which is by design by the Blue Devils.
2:20 and counting. Smith once again in the Wildcat, up the middle. You get the sense here, Lou, that Coach Perry's looking to grind out this second half here a bit and protect the football.
Break their will, yeah. It gets must get old tackling a 220-pound quarterback over and over and over. So, yeah, I think you're right.
So this is a big down for the Spartan defense. Once again, we've been talking about it all night. This is a must-win for them to have any hope of the postseason. And you got to think 3rd and 6, minute 40 remaining in the third quarter, down by 2 scores. This has to be a stop for Hempfield.
Probably 4-down territory. Let's see.
Looks like a timeout on the play, and that is the Blue Devils calling the timeout. Took a look at the defensive formation that Hempfield came out in, and Coach Perry wants to talk it over.
Yeah, we talk a lot about seniors, and it is senior night, but you see some youngsters, like I said, kind of playing a little bit above their years. Schmidt, just a sophomore. That's a critical pass in a tight game to get upfield, get first down yardage. You see Zaber, Driscoll. You're starting to see some of these youngsters get really valuable minutes. I talked about Riker, Vanderzee, gave us a spark, shot through the gap, got a holding call. So it's nice to see some of these youngsters. Junior Easton Darcy's getting a lot of playing time. I think he's really benefiting from Patrick Quinn being out. So he's taking those minutes. Boy, I sure hope we get Whitaker back next week, too, speaking of seniors. That would be fantastic.
That would be great to get
him
back.
back for Norwin. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's such an anchor over on the left side, but
that Schmidt's a big target. You spoke a little bit earlier.
He's
Lou.
a weight room guy.
Yeah, I mean Schmidt and Siegel, both big targets in that Mount Lebanon offense. So 3rd and 6. Smith brings the ball up, but then he calls his own number, makes the first man miss, the second man miss, and he lowers his head once again, drags a man with him up over the 35-yard line to the Spartan 33, enough for a Mount Lebanon first down.
Nifty running, shifty, nifty running, first down yardage, great run. Looks like Mount Lebanon may want to move a little quickly now.
They were coming with a little pace here, which is surprising. You think you want to wind down this clock, but Smith back, looks to the right. He finds number 1.
That'll be Friedel. Good first down yard, good first down yards. I don't think he got all the way there, but it's good chunky yards. Good catch, Chris.
Nice gain on first down.
Another senior.
Let's call it a gain of 8.
Keith, you look down there at Max and Seeger talking about the size differences. He looks like Mike Evans down there. I mean, he is a big target.
That is
just a junior.
That's it. Some of these underclassmen showing some promise for the future for this Blue Devil offense. So it's 2nd and 2, just inside the Spartan 25-yard line.
Sammy McCulley back at sidecar.
Interesting formation here, only one wide. Obvious running formation, and the handoff is to McCauley.
Like
nice hard run for McCauley. And they are going to move the chain.
Looks like that'll be the end of the third quarter. And like we said, Keith, 26, him McCauley always falling forward. Needed 3, got 4.
Okay, so we're going to turn it back over to Ronan for his report from the sideline. Ronan, to you.
All right, everyone, so that's the end of the third quarter here for Mount Lebanon. Mount Lebanon currently leading 14-0. I mean, it's getting old saying it. It's been the same for 2 quarters now. Listen, Mount Lebanon is doing exactly what they need to do. They're not doing too much. They're not doing too little. They're just doing enough. They're moving the chains. They're getting the first downs. They're not letting Hempfield score, which is huge. Hempfield had a good-looking drive there, but they actually forced the 4th down stop, getting the ball back in midfield, and now Mount Lebanon looks to score. So let's see what happens, everyone. Let's go, Lebo.
Well, thank you, Ronan. Lou, we saw a lot of what we saw in the first half here in the third quarter. The only difference was that 1 turnover by the Blue Devils.
Yeah, 1 turnover. The defense picked them up. Again, we keep talking about the bend but don't break. Still have a goose egg up on the board. I think another score here is a little bit of a backbreaker. Get up 3 scores. I think you're going to push the Hempfield offense into a little bit of desperate mode. Maybe take some chances they don't really want to take downfield. So I think it's a really big series. Senior night. Got the senior Sam McCulley in the backfield.
Sam definitely played well here in the third quarter. Smith with the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out to the left, tucks the ball, and he's gonna lower his head before he just goes out of bounds. Good gain on first down. We're gonna call it a gain of about 5, down to the Hempfield 17-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 5. How about Ronan? Speaking of seniors, that mustache game he has working there. It's impressive.
That's very impressive. I couldn't grow a mustache until I was 29, so I am very impressed, Keith.
Smith looks at the sideline for his call.
Senior Patrick Smith, his business decision is never to run out of bounds, Keith.
Smith takes the snap, calls his own number, right up the middle, and he
go.
breaks through for a Mount Lebanon touchdown. It looked like the Hempfield defense was going to give a little resistance right at the line of scrimmage, but then the seas parted. Pat Smith found his room, and he took it in for the Mount Lebanon touchdown.
Really, really good seal blocking by the right side of the line. Mickey Murphy, Easton Darcy. It was really impressive. Good seal blocking on the right side of the line to create that crease. And as we talk about, Patrick doesn't need much of a crease.
No, he doesn't. So that's the 2nd touchdown on the night for Pat Smith. Huff back for the extra point. Zaber on the hold. Ball's down. The kick's away. And I got to tell you, Lou, this has improved all year long. Calling some of the games early in the year, you started to worry about some of the special team play. But you're seeing some of these folks, some of these young players coming into their own as they gain a bit more experience.
Yeah, and give credit to Coach McCauley. He stuck with Josh. It wasn't all Josh's fault. Some of the kicks were low, but there was a lot of pursuit through the line. Got the blocking all squared away on the line for extra points and field goals. So that unit has just improved tremendously. And I'll tell you, he looks like he's an old veteran now, pounding it through on the extra points.
Absolutely. So the Blue Devils go up by 3 scores now. They lead Hempfield 21-0. 11:47 left here in the game. And that's going to put a lot of pressure on this Spartan offense. They're going to have to strike, and they're going to have to strike quick if they're going to have any opportunity to come back here in this game, Lou.
Yeah, the running game's pretty much out of the picture for them now. They're going to have to put it up a lot. They're going to be moving quickly. Look maybe for young man to make a mistake at quarterback there. Hopefully we can capitalize.
Huff has the kick away. It's taken at the 15. There's not much room. Hempfield gets it up over the 20 to the 25-yard line where the Blue Devils take him down.
Keith, that was Colin Kramer who shot downfield, shedded a blocker, and went right at the ankles of that runner. Really good pursuit by Colin Kramer.
Once again, another senior, right?
Another senior. I've seen him play some corner this year when Henry was a little nicked up, Henry Lahota. So he's done a little bit of everything, but he's been a fixture at that slot receiver as well. See if big old Joe Malone or Jackson Kramer maybe disrupt some things here.
1st and 10, Hempfield from their own 25. Detroff with the snap. Little inside handoff. I don't think I saw that coming, Lou. I don't know if anybody in the stadium saw that coming. They haven't been very effective in the run game all night, and you would think that they need to start to move the ball.
Yeah, you wonder if you just were trying to catch Mount Lebanon in a pass formation.
Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6.
We'll give them that all day.
Another inside handoff to 25. Gets up over the 30. Going to mark him down at the 31-yard line.
Easton Darcy, 57.
It's going to bring up 3rd and it's called a long 3 for the Spartan offense.
It's a good, sure tackle. He's been really, really impressed with the tackling tonight.
Darcy's played very well.
By the Blue Devils.
He's playing that opposite outside linebacker from Patrick. And that's the 3rd run in a row.
Very surprising.
But number 25 breaks a couple tackles and actually gets it up over to the 35. You thought he was stopped short on that play, Lou. He looked to be short by a considerable distance, but he actually broke 2 or 3 tackles, got up just over the 35-yard line. 1st down Spartans.
Yeah, Steinbeiser again. You know, you get the 1st down, but you take a couple minutes off the clock. You're down 3 scores. See if they don't start putting it up now.
Detroff motions. 4th carry in a row. They're finding a little bit of room. They're finding room between the tackles here, Lou, that they haven't been able to find all night. So credit to that Spartan offense. They're starting to move the Mount Lebanon front 7. But as you said, they're quickly running out of time here with 9:48 and counting remaining in the game. 2nd and 4. Detroff fakes the inside handoff this time, and he's looking for a long target. That was maybe number 3. He overthrew him.
Yeah, but that was Copus. Sam McCulley in good position. You know, you got the sense that something was scripted there, Keith. They were setting something up. They had the play-action fake there. They ran 4 or 5 times in a row. Play-action fake. Sammy wanted nothing to do with it. He was in really good position there. Copus streaking down the sidelines.
Yeah, I agree. It was very good coverage. I'm a little surprised they're not looking for this big, tall target, number 14 here, Lou.
Simmons. He's made plays.
Detroff, another inside handoff. Another good run. That's number 26. That's a new running back in there.
John Michael Landa. We have not called his name. John Michael Landa. Pretty big kid. He's a senior, 5'9", 200.
Takes it into Blue Devil territory. Detroff, 1st down, finds his man in the slot. Right out around that left hash.
That's that man Copus again, number 3.
Copus has been his favorite target here so far tonight. Once again, another good gain for the Spartans. Down in Blue Devil territory to the Blue Devil 36-yard line.
Clock churning under 9 now, so definitely something to keep an eye on.
Some balance to this offense on this series, Lou.
Yeah, you know, I'm a little surprised we didn't see a little bit more of that earlier in the game.
Yeah.
They are having some success.
Detroff gets the call from the sideline. Motions his tight end over. Takes the snap. Another handoff to 26. Boy, the Blue Devils are all over it, though. And it was Easton Darcy first. And then it looks like he got a little bit of help. I don't know who came in there second. It might have been Joe Malone. But great play, Blue Devil defense.
Yeah, Darcy was initial contact, slowed him up, and big old number 9 didn't have any problem finishing that one off.
So we're going to call a loss of play. Second and long 11. It was interesting. The tempo that the Spartan offense was going with in the first half was much quicker. And you thought you'd see a little more of that, given the circumstance of the game right now. But they're taking their time. He pulls it that time.
Real sure I understand the strategy, Keith.
Yeah,
you're moving with your hair on fire with 2 minutes into the game, and now down 3 scores. You're running the ball and you're very patient. I don't know.
It's a little zone read by Detriff. Found little to no room up over the right side.
Mount Lebanon's more than happy to let them take their time here to set up.
Absolutely. No gain on the play. 3rd and long, Spartans. Detriff's back. A lot of pressure. He does find somebody on the screen over the middle. Modest gain on the play. Called a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. And it's going to bring up a long 4th down.
Keith, do we dare say it yet again? Bend but don't break. Here we are again, 4th down and long. This defense has really been stout in these situations.
It's been the story of the night, Lou. Detriff by himself in the backfield, drops back, looks over the middle, has a target. Oh, I got to tell you, once again, that's the second time that he's looked on that post over the middle, and there's been a bit of room for the Hempfield receiver. But once again, and you've seen this on maybe the last 3 longer throws, unfortunately Detriff overthrew him.
Yeah, he's played a pretty good game. He's hit a lot of those slants and underneath passes, but going downfield, it's been the inaccuracy that's really aided the Blue Devils in some cases and kind of bailed them out a little bit. So we'll take it, though.
So the Spartans turned the ball over on downs. Blue Devil offense is going to come back out here with 6:41 remaining in the game, leading 21-0.
I think you're going to see a lot of ground and pound now, Mr. Sala.
That's it. You want to try to get out of here healthy. So Pat sets the offense from his own 36-yard line. Takes the snap. Calls his own number up the middle. Oh, there's a lot of room there, and I don't think they're going to catch him.
Goodbye.
He is gone once again. Lou, you called it. There was going to be I think everybody in the stadium knew there was going to be some ground and pound with Pat Smith, but I'm not exactly sure we expected that kind of an explosive play. Pat, for 61 yards on the touchdown, his 3rd touchdown of the night, Lou.
Yeah, and, I feel so good for these kids. Senior night, they're playing a really fantastic game. Really happy for senior Patrick Smith getting out into space, doing what he does. Now you're up 4 scores. This was really a great game tonight, and, I love seeing it on senior night. Get to maybe, don't want to get ahead of myself, go over to the band, take the helmets off. It's going to be a very good night for these young men. They deserve it.
Yeah, good way to wrap up their home season.
Yes.
Though. Huff, once again, perfect on the night. 4 for 4 in extra points. Really looking solid back there. Lou, unfortunately we don't have stats up here in the booth, but I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna guess that Pat Smith is over his average of 120 yards rushing here tonight.
Yeah, I am too, and he's broken away. He's had some long touchdown runs, and we talk about it all the time. Once he gets in space, he is very dangerous. He can beat you with his feet speed-wise. He can run over you. He very rarely has any interest in going out of bounds. So, big night for Patrick, and just so happy for this team, the way this team is executing tonight. Like we talk about in 6A, you're never out of it, so.
That's it. This is going to set up a big game next week at Norwin. A lot of playoff implications with that game. A lot to be determined here yet in 6A, Lou.
A lot to be determined. How about going back to Norwin? Norwin hopes to host the Whitfield Championship games. Of course, Mount Lebanon played there in 21, and a lot of history there.
A whole lot of history. And it's going to be a big game there next week. Leave early. It's going to take a long time to get out there on the Parkway East. Hempfield receives the ball at their 12-yard line, makes a man miss, comes out over the right edge, and then is forced out of bounds by a host of Blue Devils at about the 33-yard line.
So my tradition's Vincent's on my way out there, Keith. So if you're so inclined, I'll buy you a pepperoni out there.
I might have to take you up on that.
That was my tradition. But I'll tell you, Norman's a really good football team this year.
They are. They are.
And that's going to be, I think we're playing really well right now at this point in the season. Norman's a really well-coached team. Just a really big game next week.
And it's nice to have that, we were chasing Canon-Mac, who has 2 wins in the conference, but it's nice to have that win over Canon-Mac in case that tiebreaker comes in.
So you close this one out clean now.
Detroff's back, finds his man. It's big number 10, another big target for Hempfield. We haven't called his name yet here tonight. He has a good gain on first down out to the 47-yard line.
Henry Muschler, a 12th grader, a senior.
There we go. Another senior getting some time here late. First down and 10 for Hempfield from their own 47-yard line. Hempfield's in their typical 4 wide, single set back to Detroff's right. He motions him left, takes the snap. He checks down to that back, coming out into the left flat. Throws on the numbers, but unfortunately for Hempfield, the ball was dropped.
Yeah, I think Steinbeiser took a peek upfield right as the ball was coming in. Lost sight of it.
So that's going to stop the clock here on second down and 10 for Hempfield at 5:38 remaining in the fourth quarter. Detroff looks to the sideline for his call.
Keith, it's not a real big senior class, but they all contribute. You look down there, you look at Friedel. We've talked about some of the offensive guys like Mickey Murphy, so it's not a real big class, but they all play and they all contribute.
Ooh, big pressure from the Mount Lebanon defense. That's
young Riker Vanderzee.
Vanderzee again. When you get that kind of defensive pressure and you break down the Hempfield pocket when only rushing 3, you're winning generally on that down every time.
And I'll tell you, Keith, I coach this kid. I know this kid. He's probably only about 160 or 70 pounds, but he doesn't play like that. He comes so hard off the ball that he plays a lot bigger than that. Just a sophomore.
The Flying Dutchman, Vanderzee.
Yeah, that might be the new nickname. I like that.
Detroff back. Pressure again. He's flushed out of the pocket, tries to escape the pocket, and he's tackled as he just gets back to the line of scrimmage by number 55.
Jackson Kramer showing good pursuit and good speed to catch the quarterback from behind.
And that's gonna force Hempfield into a 4th and long situation, and they call a timeout to talk it over. It's gonna be 4th and 9 when we get back to action. I got to tell you, only rushing 3 and really starting to break down that pocket. You're starting to see the Mount Lebanon defensive line maybe start to take some wear on that offensive line of Hempfield.
Yeah, we talked about a little bit of a size advantage in some cases, particularly with Steiner and Kramer and Malone. I think it's starting to wear out the Hempfield line a little bit, which is by design, wear those guys out a little bit. So you're seeing a lot of really good. I'm noticing the guys in white going backwards more and more this time of the game, which is exactly what you want.
Mount Lebanon looking to finish strong here, leading 28-0 late on this senior night here at Mount Lebanon Stadium. Hempfield offense takes back to the field. Looks like 4 wide. He looks to this near sideline, and that's that big target, number 10. Overthrows him again. It seems like whenever Detroff gets his feet moving a little bit, he has a tendency to overthrow, and we've been able to take advantage of that. So that's going to be a turnover on downs for Hempfield.
Yeah, he doesn't like to get rushed back there. Really good coverage by Jacob Zaber. Broke on the ball beautifully. Really didn't have any chance to sneak that ball in. So good coverage by number 3.
Great pressure by the Mount Lebanon defense. It seems when Detriff has his feet set underneath him, he finds some accuracy in that passing game. It's when those feet are moving, and Mount Lebanon certainly forced that here in the last quarter and a half.
Keith, I think you hear the Mount Lebanon sideline stirred up for number 13. Doesn't get to play a whole lot on Friday nights, but he's a good kid. Luis Hernandez, number 13, is in the game. I can hear a lot of his teammates clapping down there, cheering him on.
That's fantastic. Glad to see him getting some time. It was a good gain on first down by number 26, Sam McCauley. We're going to give him a gain of a long 6 or a short 7. Bring up 2nd and 3.
Try to call out if any additional seniors who haven't been in too much enter the game here.
Makes you wonder if Pat's going to try to find number 13
Yeah,
here.
maybe throw into Louis.
Pat taking his time, working the clock. They get deep into that play clock. Inside handoff. It's McCauley again. Doesn't find much room this time, though.
Yeah, rough sledding. The Hempfield kids are going to keep fighting. A little bit of rough sledding there, but clock churning, 4-score lead. I think this is playing out exactly the way the Blue Devils would like it.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 3 as Smith receives his play from the sideline. Coach Perry working hard over here. Not just the head coach, but also the O coordinator, right? Calling all the plays.
Yep, double duty.
4 wide for Pat. McCauley's this single set back, and it is a swing out to McCauley. That was a backwards pass, Lou. And McCauley wisely jumps on the ball.
Yeah, that could have been trouble. I'm glad that rolled. Got a good bounce, rolled Sam's way, and he fell on it. Now I think he just punted away.
Our booth is lined up exactly with that ball, and it was easy to see that that ball was thrown about a good yard backwards, so it was technically a fumble. But Sammy was on the spot, recovers for the Blue Devils.
I don't know what the hesitation is here. I would punt this away, pin the Spartans deep.
Yeah, they might take the penalty and just churn as much clock as they can, or maybe use a timeout. I see Coach Perry over by the ref, and he does call a timeout with 1 second left on the play clock. You would have to think that they pin him deep here, especially with the punter that we have in Joe Malone.
Yeah, I think you get a quick kickoff. You don't have to take your time and try to get the perfect kick. Just get the ball downfield. I think there's a lot of gentlemen in navy blue that would like to preserve the shutout as well.
We hear the Hempfield band over there. Did a great job at halftime, Lou. We didn't get to hear from the Blue Devil Marching Band because it was band senior recognition during halftime, but Hempfield Spartan Band doing a great job here tonight.
Yeah, big numbers too. They've always had a good band. It's nice to see good numbers because you see some, you play in different stadiums. Sometimes you don't see as many kids coming out for band, so it's nice to see a good large turnout for the Hempfield Band, and they sound great.
Big school.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how many they're graduating per class, but I mean, it's up there. Yeah. I mean, we're talking like 700-800 or somewhere around there.
Yeah, one of the biggest in Westmoreland County for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very large school. Beautiful area too. Am I picking you up tomorrow for the JV game, 7:30? Take you to Starbucks.
I'm jet lagged. I might still be in bed. Joe Malone back for the punt. He does get a quick one away. It's received at the 13-yard line by Hempfield. Makes 2 men miss. Coming right up the middle. Cuts back on a third. Gets up over the 30-yard line to the 35. And that's where Hempfield's going to take over with 2:36 remaining in this last home game of the season. Mount Lebanon leading 28-0.
Yeah, that was Copus showing some shifty moves. They have some athletes on the perimeter. Once again, even making it that much more impressive that Blue Devils were thus far able to pitch the shutout. Because you saw moves there. They have athletes. We talked about 14 Simmons, Copus, number 3. They have some athletes, but Blue Devils have really done a good job This is the last time I'll say it, Keith. Bend but don't break.
Well, you got to think we're going to rush 3 here, right, and put everybody back in coverage. But hopefully that front 3 can get Detroff moving out of the pocket. Detroff is back. He's flushed from the pocket, comes up the middle, finds some room, comes up over the 40 to about the 42, say 43-yard line. Decent gain on first down, but I think Mount Lebanon's willing to give that up. And there's a big roar from the sideline.
I think that's Jaden Sutherland, number 67. See him get a tackle. We got to find 75 too.
Yeah, I see number 75 in at that right D end.
Find out who that is.
Detroff back, surveys the field, finds his man right at the left hash. He gets into Mount Lebanon territory, up to about the Mount Lebanon 40-yard line. Good gain for Hempfield. 1st and 10.
Can't find 75, but we know 67 is Jaden Sutherland.
We got number 35 checking into the game for the first time here.
That's Johnny Kale.
All right.
That's Johnny Kale. Nice to see some more youngsters in.
Detroff has all day to throw, finds his target. That's number 10 on a bit of a crosser. Makes a few men miss.
Oh, they're going to bring it back, I think. I think they got a hold.
There's either a hold or a block in the back or something downfield. Looks like the flags came down right around the 20-yard line. For the moment, a significant gain for Hempfield on that crossing pattern. We'll wait for the ref to make his call.
Yeah, they're going to get Hempfield on a hold.
Yeah, it looks like they're marking it off from about the 19-yard line. So it's going to take them back to the 29 because that gets marked off from the spot of the foul. So I do believe it is still a first down. Yes, it is.
Parker Boyd and Spencer Paul checking in. A couple of juniors. A little time here.
So with the penalty, they're set back to the 29, but it's still 1st and 10 for Hempfield. Oh, big rush. Oh, and that ball was thrown fairly dangerously. There was a big rush coming off the right edge. Was that Vandersea in the backfield again?
I think it was. You see who entered the game, Keith? Your guy, 27.
Who we got back there?
You recognize
I got to call number 27. That's young Vincent Petrogallo. Lou's youngest son comes in at safety. Detroff has all day to throw.
He's covering Copus.
Oh. And Zaber's on the mark there. It looks like the pass was completed, but then Zaber
knocked him out of
bounds.
Hit him a little bit low. That was number 10.
It's a little nicked on the play.
That's senior Henry Muschler. He looks okay.
Okay. Another new safety checking in next to Vincey.
That's Liam DeLuca into the game.
All right.
They will be patrolling the secondary at safety tomorrow morning.
Vincent Petrogallo, number 27, otherwise known as the Honey Badger.
Trying to get him back into wrestling, too. Let's see.
We're ready for him.
Oh.
We need him. We need him.
Can't wait to watch our guy Evan this winter. That's going to be must-see TV, Cole and Evan.
Yeah, best of luck, by the way, this weekend to Cole Gibbons, who qualified for the National Super 32 tournament in Greensboro, North Carolina, going to get up against some of the best in the country here this weekend. Good luck to you in the morning. Hopefully he made weight here today.
Yeah. No, extremely high ceiling for Evan Sala and Cole Gibbons this winter. So, and that's starting. That's right around the corner.
They're getting ready. Great to see Coach Perry rotating some of these guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
nice to get the
what an experience to get out here under the lights on Friday night.
It's very special, Keith. It never gets old, no matter what the situation of the game is. Being out on a Friday night, it's a special feeling.
So 5 wide for Detroff. He motions one back into the backfield. He looks to the left on the slant, finds his target.
Looks like that was Copus.
Like
at least one more
maybe
play
35 coming up on the Is that John Kale?
Could be
35?
John Kale, yep.
I think he came up on the
No,
tackle.
no sleeves, no elbow pads. Do you expect anything else from a Kale? Hempfield has their starters in, though. They want to punch one in. Let's see what happens here.
Detroff back. Looks to the end zone. Good coverage on the play by number 27. Detroff overthrows the man.
I'll take the overthrow for sure.
Looked like Vince was in good coverage from his safety position. Brings up third down.
Clock
Only
stopped.
13 seconds here left in the game with the clock stopping with the incomplete pass. Let's keep him out of here and keep the clean
let's
sheet.
keep the goose egg up. And I will say now, partner, I can't wait to see these kids run over to the band and be able to play the alma mater.
Detroff with 4 wide. Fakes the inside handoff, then calls his own number, but there's a lot of Blue Devils there. Once again, was that number 35, John Kale again?
Kale.
Making the most of his time here late. John Kale, another wrestler, by the way, looking to make some noise this winter.
Nothing teaches you tackling like wrestling.
That's right.
Great.
So
skill.
Hempfield then stops. I'm not. They started that play with 13 seconds, and now the clock still says 12. It was the fastest play ever.
They gave him a couple of seconds on. I think we're going to go down to Ronan.
Yeah, let's go down to Ronan, who's going to talk to tonight with Pat Smith.
All right, everyone, so that's a win here for Mount Lebanon. We're here with Pat Smith. He's the player of the game for me. He's had two 67-yard touchdowns, Pat, can you walk us through, what that means to you here on senior night?
I mean, it was awesome. I mean, my O-lineman was just great. My running back, Chris Gambitz, and Sam McCauley, they played really well. So I got to give them all the credit for my runs. I ran them, but, at the same time, I wouldn't have done without my lineman and running back. So I give kudos to them.
This is a huge win for you guys, especially with, your playoff hopes. You guys need some wins right now. What does this win mean for you and your playoff hopes?
Oh, it gives us so much. It gives us so much hope, and that's all we need right now. We just need hope, and we need faith going into this next game. Which after this game, I feel like we're going to have.
Yeah, and Pat, these numbers are extreme, right? But I don't think this is your best game on the ground. What does it mean, to be the centerpiece of the offense and defense? This guy, I couldn't even ask him for an interview. He was on the field so much. What does it mean to you?
I had the ball in my hands a lot, but at the same time, I could have done with the people around me. I love them so much. So, obviously, I did some of it, but, most of it goes to my team.
Well, Pat, that team camaraderie is a great thing to hear about. But good luck on the rest of the season, and that's Mount Lebanon's win. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ronan, and boy, Lou, to hear Pat Smith speak and the humble approach that he has to this game. Obviously, he's had the stats all year. He's been the load carrier for this Mount Lebanon offense through and through. But once again, giving all the credit to his teammates.
Impressive young man. Impressive young man.
So there was a injury on that play. It's a bit of
Parker Boyd, I think, down there.
But he's up.
He's up and moving. Looks like his arm might have got rolled up on. I think we have one play left here, Keith.
We do. We got one
Keep
play.
calling for those seniors over with the band. I think the band's ready. Cheerleaders are ready. Did you see everything setting up over here?
So we got one play left. I think Ronan was trying to start into his post-game speech, but we got 1 second left. Let's see if Mount Lebanon can hold on to this shutout. Detroff's back. He's looking left. Has a little bit of time. Now time's running out. Oh, and he had a man in the end zone. And it looked like he dropped the ball, but as he dropped to the turf, he found it once again, collected himself, and he goes in for the Hempfield touchdown.
Yeah, a little bit of a bobbling, juggling act, but good for them. They got on the board. They stayed with it. No quitting the Spartans.
It was a good last drive for the Spartans.
It was a good last drive, and they punched one in.
They're not going to kick the extra point. They're going to call it here, and looks like the teams are going to head to the 50 to shake it up. Big win for Mount Lebanon, 28-6. Now we're going to go back down to Ronan for his postgame.
28.
All right, everyone, so that's a Mount Lebanon win here. What a great interview with Pat Smith. in my opinion, I think he's the centerpiece of this team as a whole. You know, I said it in the interview. I couldn't even ask the guy for the interview because he's on the field so much. Incredible game from him. You know, I mean, I can't even count the amount of rushing yards he had, but he had 134 yards for touchdown runs, you know, cumulatively across his two. What Mount Lebanon had tonight was team spirit. You know, the crowd is still here. They're still showing out for Mount Lebanon, and that's the kind of stuff they need as they go down the stretch here in the next two games, in the next game, against Norwin. They need a lot of this guy did good for me, this guy did good for me, instead of I did good, right? There's no I in team, and I think that was the key to Mount Lebanon's success tonight. I think that they played for one another, to the people to the left and right of them, and all around, I'm very impressed. And I do think that this team can make a run, especially with Pat Smith playing like that. You know, I feel like a broken record. We could say his name a million times on this broadcasted game, but he really is a special player, and you know it's great to see Mount Lebanon obviously going and cheering. You know, this means a lot. This is their first home win of the season. So once again, signing off, and thank you guys so much for the year. This is Ronan Young signing off for the last time as a high school student. Thank you guys for the memories, and I hope to be back soon. Thank you.
Well said, Ronan. Congratulations to you and best of luck. We know you're going to do wonderful as you move on to this next phase in your college years. And Lou, I think you called for it all night. There's that Mount Lebanon team over there with the cheerleaders and the band celebrating the big win here tonight, 28-6.
Good to see some smiles over there. These kids have worked hard. You know, it's been a difficult season, obviously. But I got to tell you, we talked about it. Couple of really tough 5A teams to start the season. Upper St. Clair Peters. Those teams are going to go deep in the 5A playoffs. Of course, Central. You know, every other game we were right in it. We were playing tooth and nail, and this was yet another game. This is similar to the Seneca Valley game, where all phases of the game were firing. You had control of the game the whole way, and let's see what happens in Norwin. Win and you're in. You're going to have to be focused. They're a good team. I think it's going to be two good teams next week because we're playing well right now. So all you can do is give yourself a chance to, you know, be in a position, and I think they're trending in the right direction.
Yeah, you know, winning here tonight gives them some options for next week. Obviously, you win, you're in. They lose, they could possibly get in with a little bit of help, but this does eliminate Hempfield from contention, unfortunately for Hempfield. So let's recap real quick. You know, senior night here tonight, and the seniors really showed out from the very start to the very end of this game, and it started all with Joe Malone and that big play on defense.
Yeah, it set the tone, and, you know, we talked about what a special – his little brother's the honorary captain, second grader. He walks out with his big brother, and I do mean big brother, and second or third series, pick six, number 9 sets the tone, 7-0. We talked about getting that good extra point, which is not a footnote. You know, we were in games where we were struggling to convert the extra point. You get the extra point, kind of set the tone. Then you hear seniors, Patrick Smith. We don't have stats up here. Ronan was just saying 2 67-yard runs. Just a complete beast tonight. Hard to tackle, hard to contain. When he gets out of the barn, too, forget it. He'll run over you, he'll run around you, he'll run past you. So we talked about Kim Bitzes. We talked about Sam McCulley tonight. You know, we talked about Jackson Steiner being back. Just a great night for the seniors and a really special night for the whole team.
What a great night for that senior-heavy offensive line, really, to see our run game coming through and even, you know, protecting the pocket the way they were for Pat Smith all night long. You know, we've been looking for that. You thought coming into the season when you had 5 starters across that offensive line, all seniors, that it was going to be a strength of the team, and I think it's really developing into that, Lou.
Yeah, they are, and we talked about seeing white jerseys get pushed back a little more and more as the game went on, wearing the other team down, and we started to see that. We started to see the white jerseys kind of fading back, and that's the script. That's the script. You have a weight advantage tonight, and I think that, again, next week, play this game that they played tonight. Play a clean game, minimize the mistakes. Special teams were great tonight. Joe punted the ball well, so take this to Norwin next week, and let's take our chances because I like them.
Yeah, no silly penalties. You didn't see it here tonight. So once again, from Mount Lebanon Stadium, your Mount Lebanon Blue Devils are victorious in their last home game of the season, 28-6 against the Hempfield Spartans. We want to give a special shout out. Hopefully he's listening to us. It might be the middle of the night over there in Germany, but we're ending this broadcast season without our leader in the booth, Brian Walters. So big shout out to Brian in Germany. We're thinking about you, and we can't wait till you're back here stateside.
That's the GOAT right there, Brian Walters. He is the GOAT, and really happy to fill his big shoes, but hope he's having a great time over there, and we miss you, buddy.
Well, Lou, it was a pleasure
Always,
being
man.
with you tonight, and
Great.
job.
So much fun.
And good luck to the Blue Devils next week. To all those Mount Lebanon fans out there, make sure you get out to Norwin, support them next week, and we're hoping for a very successful postseason out of the Blue Devils. For the last time, Mount Lebanon 28, Hempfield 6, signing off from Mount Lebanon Stadium. I'm Keith Sala, and this is Lou Petrogallo. Thanks for your time tonight.
Good night, everybody.
Devil Marching Band. Drum captain is Honey Iode. Front ensemble co-captains are Sam Shaw and Madeline Zandberg. Color guard captains are Emma Smale, Eleanor Schulte Albert, Georgia McElwain, and Grace Pendergrass. Woodwind captain is Claire Connolly. Brass captain is Isaac Ober. Student leaders are Lucy Wendt, Lizzie McKenna, Emily Williamson, Alexander Johnson, Isaac Ober, Daniel Davies, Robert Kennedy, Patrielle Nicholson, Alex Murray, Max Wolf, Xavier Graybell, Lucy Hernandez, Spencer Miller, Anika Smith, Margaret Peterson, and Shai Green. The Mount Lebanon Marching Band is under the direction of Jason Cheskowitz. Assistant directors are Ron Liberty, Stephanie Enby, and Brett McCutcheon. Thank you for your kind support and be safe going home.